You ready?
Sure.
You're right. Okay, we'll reconvene the first day of budget session. We're going to begin on page 6, surveyor. And we have, what's changed, well, really nothing changed other than we moved the social security and retirement over here.
Mhm.
And longevity, added longevity.
So you wanna take off the longevity like
Don't
you've
want to
been?
check on them, about taking them off too.
I wanna take off one.
Yeah,
Well, mine's in longevity, and I guess that's it, isn't it? Oh, we're
And
talking
then
about moving.
I would like to see if you guys would wanna move, so that would bring that to 12,427. So if you move all those expenses out of general into the, surveyor, coroner perpetuation,
what's the number of that?
49.
49.
Maybe I'm looking wrong. Like his supplies and stuff.
I think he,
Surveyor, I see that, page 6.
does he use his own?
I think we have them. I
he,
love-
he does
love-
most
I
everything.
think he
I
does.
love the $500 on supply for him, because he does a heck of a job.
He does, he
I mean, I think
said
if
he does most of this for the county.
Yeah,
He's
Didn't
a
he
true.
not take a salary?
Huh?
Wasn't there a couple years he didn't take a
He's-
salary?
He did not.
I love customer first for supplies.
But I mean, he has it in the perpetuation that he could take, right? If he needed it, could it be used for that, Chris?
I think he does have some in perpetuation,
Okay,
some supplies, I think.
Yeah, he's got some supplies there, but I think you should move his salary there.
To there.
Yeah,
It's what,
Yeah,
and
I
then,
do
and
too.
then
That
we
frees
move the
it up.
salary,
Mhm.
we can take the social
12,000.
security retirement with that, can't we?
What?
The social security retirement is
Yep.
legit too.
Mhm.
So you want to zero that out here?
Zero that out, move it all
Is
to
that what
Fund
everybody wants
12.
to do?
We can work on that later.
Move
Move
it
it
on
on
to
to
12.
12.
Move
There
that over
again on
rainy
that
day.
retirement. We just talked about the retirement
That's
before.
I'll be okay with it, if you do that.
What'd you say? I missed.
She's okay with moving that.
Yeah.
But
I would like that to go in the rainy day.
Well, we can set, as we get to where we can set money to the rainy day. Once
so
we
at
have
this
to
point, we're just moving it to the
Well, I'm not okay with it.
perpetuation
It's
fund.
just gonna be,
But we can't move these.
We're not at a
to rainy
point right
day.
now. I don't think you guys are at a point to see how
Yeah,
much to
he's
put in
not
the
taking
rainy
over
day.
that. I mean, we haven't discussed that yet.
Yeah.
Moving it into the veterans. That's what he was wanting, right? Or somebody talked about it?
veterans,
What?
Yeah, no, not this bear. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I was looking
You're
at
okay.
the
You're
planning
good.
and zoning.
Surveyor.
Never mind.
No wrong surveyor on it. Yeah.
but you're all right.
Surveyor.
Yeah,
It's page 49, right?
yeah.
I did that.
Okay, so if we move this, zero this out, we're taking it to the perpetuation. Where's that at?
Page 49.
Take it to perpetuation 49.
So are you keeping,
Seen in there, he does have like 4,000 for cornerstone marking supplies.
So it's gonna move that up to 18,927. This 14,000 is a guesstimate. I'd say you're okay for this year, because you've got 155,000 in there, and then see what you expect to bring in as you're going, but if not, you're probably gonna, your revenue to expenditures will eventually be, they're not equal, but I think you're fine right now.
So if we leave that, it's gonna continue to drain that fund.
Right. Yeah, you're gonna have to
What
eventually,
is the total of that for you
And
said?
what do we do with the fund?
it's gonna change,
And that's my problem.
the 1202 to 18,927 expenditures with an estimated of 14. Let me look and see how much we actually
Yeah,
brought
that's
in the
what I-
last year.
Maybe we all just transfer what we actually bring in.
Well, you're not, You've got that cash
Well, no,
balance
they
filled
won't,
up.
they won't work either.
Huh?
How long did it take to get that? Is like what, I would like to know. Yeah, what did they bring you? Yeah.
Let me look and see. All right, let me go to.
What, is it the 9,000?
So he only brings in 14,000.
You can go to that
Oh, that's,
PDF I sent you, and you can, on that fund, and it tells you all the activity for this year anyway.
oh, where it is. You can look here too. What page are you? Well, never mind. Go to what page. 14,000. Well, that doesn't match. Total revenue is 14,000.
Alright. Balance of fund. Let me look at last year. 12/31/2023. 1202. Well, that didn't. All right, so last year, in 2022, the account brought in 16,585. Let me see what today it's brought in. Today, it's brought in 11,295
Is that through
through
August,
today.
through today?
Here today. 12/31/2021. In 2021, it brought in 19,445. So you're looking probably at about 15, average of 15, 16,000. So you're a little
I'd
over.
say if you annualize what he's collected so far, it'll be 15,060 for 2023.
Mhm.
But maybe it'll be more now. I don't know how he's,
Yeah, it
maybe he
might
gets more
be.
money in the later months. I don't know.
He doesn't typically use his traveling, as you can tell. In the Cornerstone, he didn't use any last year and he used it this year. So I think he used it this year.
Like I said, we do bring in the money for the surveyor's corner perpetuation fund, that comes through the recorder's fees. That was in that fund. So you know, so it comes in monthly.
I think you're good. But that's your all's decision.
Well, I would say we do it, let's just go ahead and move that over.
My only fear is if we use it in the general for something that's reoccurring, it's eventually not gonna be there.
Eventually.
Yeah, but you can lower the budget. You're looking at $1,900.
I mean, this is
You're
one of the
bringing in-
highest, this is one of the highest ones outside of that.
You're looking at $18,927, and he hasn't spent, in previous years, he hasn't spent 6,000 of that. And your average bringing in 15, 16,000. I mean,
And also this year, he does have 4,000 in there where normally he doesn't. He
Right.
probably won't next year for expenses. Awfully, So,
It could continue 4 years,
yeah.
you know?
So if you take say the 15, 16,000, and if he's only using, say, 4,000, it's gonna cover most of it,
that's what I'm saying. This is,
even going
you
forward.
guys are taking so much time
It will
to consider
choose to
something that's
go.
minute.
Almost a break even.
Huh?
Almost a
Yeah.
break even.
So you're probably all right with this. in doing that?
You're looking at more than likely a $13,000 annual expense to a $14,000. And there's $155,000
Plus your
cash
income-
balance.
Your
I
income
mean,
is going to offset
you
that
can't
too.
spend 15 minutes on every,
So you're not
As long
going
as
to
we're
use it.
intentional with it.
Huh.
You know, that.
Oh,
That's not a problem.
once you move it, you mean?
Well, that's fine, but then it frees up money in the general.
Right.
What's that gonna be spent on? Because
That's
if
what
it's
we haven't
gonna,
decided.
Kelly, we've got to free up 106 or
Yeah, we gotta get
680,000.
that total down
I
here.
mean, we're not even
That's
to
true.
deciding
We're working
where
on
the,
that.
where the extra is gonna go, because we haven't even got what we need to cut done.
We're trying to get this number down.
Okay, what's our latest proposal here on the surveyor?
Okay, we're talking about moving it
Moving.
to the, corner perpetuation, survey corner perpetuation. And zeroing this in general ledger out. Because we're gonna move it to the page 49, the corner perpetuation fund. And then we haven't decided what that changes, what that allows us some additional for, the general fund, but we haven't decided how we would be spending that. We're going to decide that later. Right.
I just wanna use the revenue we have.
And not using any cash balances.
Well, no, I mean, we can, just,
That's what we're doing here.
I don't wanna use it to fund the budget. I wanna just use the revenue. And then if we have savings or whatever else, you know, something $250,000 we have to pay for, then for next year for PSAP, then that's what I would prefer to do. Something unexpected like that instead of something that's gonna continue on every year that we may not be able to fund in the future, because when these things deplete.
Kelly, I think, I'm not understanding what this is a fund. We can't fund anything else other than coroner stuff out of this. So, or surveyor stuff out of this. So we're moving 12,427 from, that would be paid out of general to the surveyors. And that money can't be used for anything else but surveyors. So where then it's gonna free up county general money that could be used elsewhere. Does that make sense? I'm not understanding what,
So let's just pretend like next year that's not there.
What's not
I
there?
know it's gonna be because it's 144,000. Let's just say it's not.
are you talking about the cash balance?
Yeah, right.
Okay,
What
well,
happens when it's totally depleted?
well, we're not really even probably gonna use any cash balance. You're looking at, he hasn't spent anything, so you're looking at a 14,000 to just his salary wages of 12,427. And then you're only looking at a differentiation of 4,000,
His,
and in normal years, he rarely even spends
his
that.
current budget does not exceed the revenue he's bringing in. So
Okay.
that balance is going to continue to grow or not change much or remain
Right.
stagnant.
So it's not like it's gonna go backwards
No.
significantly.
No,
To
No,
where
Now-
we're gonna have a problem.
Right.
That's my
Not-
point. Some
not,
of these are not this high, so I don't
Right.
wanna establish that and then
No,
think we can
right.
do that with every one of
this,
them.
this one I
Can't
think
do
you're
that.
for sure okay with.
yeah, I don't really
Okay.
even think you're gonna go into where you're having to use your cash balance,
Okay.
but it's not
This
gonna
one might be
go.
okay like that, but then there's a lot of them that aren't because they don't have
I
that
get that.
And
significant.
we'll look at each one of those.
Dave, if you're ready for a motion, I'll make that motion.
I guess we
I'll
are.
second it.
Motion by Paul, second by Stan.
So 18,927.
Yes, is what's
Is the
now
new-
out of 1202.
Which is on page 49.
And it freed up 12,827.
Shouldn't
Out
that
of
longevity
general.
come off that?
Yeah, I did. I took the longevity off of that, yeah.
We took that off for you.
That's 12,427,
427.
but it's actually taken 12,827 off of the general because you had the 800 it was there.
49. So you have,
Oh, because you removed,
18.
Yeah,
yeah.
you see what I'm saying?
is that 18,927 then on 49?
18,927.
So do we want, okay, you made a motion. Are you just doing it for the survey or are you doing it for survey corner perpetuation, both of them? We're zeroing out the
Might be-
county general, county surveyor. and taking it to corner perpetuation. I mean,
Which you can use for anything during the
Under there.
but your motion, were you taking care of just page 6, county surveyor? Or were you taking care of also 49? Both of them? Okay,
214.
so motion by Paul, who seconded that?
I did.
Second by Stan, to move the county surveyor general to the surveyor corner perpetuation. So that will zero out the county general and it will increase the county perpetuation by 12,427 for a total of 18,927. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nay. Motion carries 7-0.
Probably the next one to do would be courthouse, page 18. Without any wages.
We actually,
What's the security system?
The security system was, budgeted in multiple different places. And I know that we've talked that our current security system is old, but it works. And, but if it goes out, we're probably looking at a whole brand new system because getting parts and stuff for it. I know the jail and the sheriff's office redid theirs. The people that did theirs have stopped in and talked with, Greg Hendershot, myself, and I think Steve Hauser was involved, earlier this year and kind of just explained that our current system is old, but it still works and we're good as long as it still works. But when it goes out,
Cross that bridge when we get to it.
Yeah. it's basically what,
See what
Kinda
we can
decided
do there.
earlier this
I
year.
see.
so you budgeted that in Cume Cap?
security, yeah, I moved it out here as budgeted both places and I looked at the expenditure amounts and it didn't need to be budgeted both places. I think it was something that maybe, so I took it out of here.
Okay, why did utilities drop 10,000? Is that due to,
LED
The lighting?
lighting.
Assuming.
LED.
I knew it was supposed to make a
Yeah.
change.
Mhm.
The parking, but it probably really helped.
See, utilities south annex.
It's where you're at.
Right here.
No, this.
Oh, no, it's a,
South
it's
is
4A
4-H.
4-H, okay. All right.
hospital there
And Greg Hendershot's office is up there too.
Okay.
and extension office.
Everybody in the hospital.
Is that janitor cleaning supplies, is that, what is that?
That's
That's
for all
Breeze.
of our cleaning supplies.
That's-
So we buy them and then they just
They
use
use them.
them?
Correct.
Or,
They have their own and we have our own, right? The gym.
I mean, I don't
Like
know
toilet
why we
paper
would
and
need any
yeah,
separate if they're providing, that's part of the contract, isn't it?
But we've expended $18.94.
I mean, is that like
Maybe if
toilet
you made a
paper?
mess during the day.
Is it like toilet paper and stuff? Is that right? Paper towels? I don't know.
It's courthouse.
Shouldn't be, yeah.
It's under courthouse.
Looks like we could cut it a bit,
Maybe cut it a bit, yeah.
cut it down to 2,000. You know, just have to
I know
use
we-
one piece of paper instead of two.
Why would you cut it down? You've already spent half of it.
That's only through June.
I know. So I'm thinking you're gonna spend 4,000.
So
I don't know what they're
there's
spending
Glenn's
on.
cleaning service, yeah.
Well, I'm sure
I
that,
think this is what we pay, Glenn orders it for us and we pay that for our cleaning supplies out of here, the toilet paper and all that stuff.
where this is just, the cleaning
His
service.
contract amounts down there, up there is our cleaning supplies.
The 34 is their labor for cleaning or whatever.
Right.
And actually, we utilize them at work and, we buy our own cleaning supplies.
That's probably what county's doing. We're probably.
What's that
like
fuel and
Chris said.
oil? That It doesn't look like wasn't used very much in 22, it hasn't been used in 23, does anybody know what that is?
It doesn't look like it's been used at all in
Is there a
33.
courthouse car?
Is it for mowing grass?
I don't know,
That
That
might
would
be
be
under
in
Parks and Rec.
maintenance.
I mean,
They haven't spent any of it.
I want to know what these things are. I mean, if we need it. We barely used it in 22, haven't used any in 23, it doesn't seem necessary to me,
Is it for
unless
a
it's
car?
something somebody
Is that a
knows.
courthouse car?
Just take it out and move it on to Parks and, or Park and Rec if you need something else. to add
Okay.
on there. We're gonna have to start jogging a little bit,
Minus
guys.
300.
So we're leaving the cleaning supplies at full.
Yes. So that'll bring that down to 4,000. So, annex.
So we're at 115,191.
There you go.
I bet you could probably take that south annex down to 5,000 with the change half a year at 23, maybe not.
That bad winter might not
Yeah,
work out.
might be a little bit more in those months.
I do have a question about, the armory, it says 20,000, does that include all of this? Because there's also an EMA budget, 4,000 for utilities for the armory. I don't know why there's two.
I'm sure different offices are paid
You know,
out
they
different
got, that
budgets.
building over there's got a separate meter.
Really?
Is it heating and cooling?
I've never been in it.
Wasn't one.
Which
of them.
one? Oh, you talking about the
Toy box.
new, the new building?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I
fine.
don't know if that's what it is. I'm just saying that EMA has a $4,000 armory utility bill.
Oh, unless they don't have it on all the time.
They have different locations, I think, too, that they pay for with their towers and stuff like that.
I
EMA,
guess you can ask. Steve.
Yeah, he may have, yeah, we can ask him when we get to his budget.
yeah,
He probably pays the utilities on the towers.
that's what I'm saying, the towers, I've got a lot of those.
Oh,
So we're leaving courthouse at 50?
Yeah.
That down a little bit,
yeah.
and then 20,000 for the armory. Security system, like I said, I didn't see any need for it to be budgeted twice. Equipment, we haven't spent anything, but this year, but you never know.
You know what that's for?
Equipment repair in the courthouse.
Equipment in the courthouse. Miscellaneous equipment, I don't know,
It could be,
could be anything.
Yeah. Any kind of
it can be
repairs
your
to the
big
equipment.
furnaces and stuff like that.
No.
That ain't enough to get anybody to show up.
So I don't know, it would be,
Something like that would come out of the,
I mean,
maintenance.
in 22, only 285, nothing this year.
2021.
Sounds like you say.
Like for the
I think
print copiers or something, or you got to know the difference?
21, they spend
That come out of the
$1,000
office.
unless
That wouldn't come out.
they use it for something else.
I'd get rid of it.
I think I agree with Kelly. Let's do away with it.
Okay, so taking out 1,000 out of courthouse. Minus three.
Well, I mean, if it's not being used, you just keep putting it back in. So,
$114,191, Chris.
Yep, that's what I got. So we cut another 4,000.
Okay.
Okay,
wait a minute.
is that right? Did I say
No, not
4,000?
four.
We just got
13.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
1,300. I put an extra zero there.
A
I
lot.
got 300 and 1,000. Woo. Or I said I saw extra minus 1,300.
What was that total again?
114,191.
I'll make a motion if you want one, for the courthouse.
I'll second.
On 14191.
By Stan, second by Keith, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried, 7-0. Next, do we wanna go to the June Green?
Hey,
Yeah, 'cause there's not a whole lot left in the general.
Oh,
There's not a lot.
I was looking at the ones that didn't have salaries.
Parks and Rec team.
So you wanna go back, are we wanting to do ones that now have salaries in general?
What to?
Or we maybe need to go back to the clerk? I'm saying, we've done everything in county general that doesn't have salaries, so now we need to go back with salary. Okay, so. Are we wanting, I guess we want to cut the longevity. Office supplies. Warrants. I should find more checks, right? Copy, paper, and toner, 2,800. That's increased because of the presidential election. Clerk association dues are 1% of the clerk's salary. Postage, 10,000. It's up a little bit, but. Travel, 500. Equipment, 200. Meter lease, 2,800. Subscriptions and dues, 90. Anybody have any issues with those?
Yeah, Rachel, pretty good increase in the postage meter lease from 2250 to 2,800. Is that the new lease you signed, for that meter?
Yeah, the contract went up, it went up $85.
And
From
how long is that
last year.
lease for? Do you know?
To what?
You know how long that lease is for?
A year,
Okay.
but I never got any notification of that going up, so, next year when I get my contract, I'm going, or when I pay that, when I get the bill for that next year, I'm gonna tell them I need to know a little bit sooner before budget time.
So 2,800 is what the bill will be?
No, the actual contract, it was, $775.45. It went up $85 for my bill previous, because that's what I based it off on for my budget. And then, whenever we have to enter in the postage machine for certified mail, that all comes out of there as well.
So that, you're saying that's the reason that you need that extra money?
Yes. And
Because
certified mail,
that postage isn't considered?
Nope.
That's
buying the sheets, the little foam things you gotta throw in the certified mailing packets and the labels. That includes all of that.
You pay that quarterly or?
Just, whenever our funds run low,
Oh,
then yeah. So like this year, I take that back. No, we pay Quadient quarterly, yes.
right.
Yeah, and it's been staying the same at $396.92 quarterly, yeah.
Basically no change to the whole thing.
Well, we have our salary. Are we still waiting to do salaries at the end? Or are we doing them now?
I mean, really, all you got left to do is, for the levies, we can go to reassessment and Cambridge before you start on the salaries, but there's really,
Okay. So really then there, we've only changed it by 700?
700 right now, yeah. We can go ahead and go do all the other stuff, like other than the salaries if you want.
Oh, I thought we had.
Not on every location,
Oh, no, I mean
not
on
on
this
every
one.
location.
Oh, okay, yeah, you mean, yeah,
Yeah,
We
go
can
through
do
every
that.
location and do all that.
yeah.
And one thing I did forget on that postage meter lease, we do everything that the prosecutor's office wants us to send out by certified mail. We do that as well. So we do certified mail for us, the court, and the prosecutor's office.
And but the clerk pays for it all.
Yes, it comes out of my budget. Sorry, I just wanted to add that, because I did forget.
Back in the day, just take it off the longevity and the rest of it.
Okay.
So at this point, we're just taking off the longevity.
On.
237, 940. What you get there?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you're leaving the raises.
Well, we're gonna go back and look at all that.
Okay, you need a motion on that?
Yeah,
Clerk.
go back,
What's the motion? Have we taken out the longevity?
just the longevity. That's all right now, that's what we're doing.
Minus 700.
We didn't change any of the expenses, unless is there something you think you should change?
No, I just
Okay.
wondered,
Right,
because we talked about the other,
we were taking the longevity out,
Right now, so.
so it'd be 237, 940.
You need a motion?
Yeah,
I'll make a motion for improvement.
Second.
motion by Paul, second by Keith, all those in favor, signify by saying aye. Motion carries 7-0. Next, we have the auditor's budget. Longevity, minus 350. All supplies, official records, warrants. Those seem to be kind of in line with 2023. I don't know, maybe you spent 13 and 6. Actually, you spent a lot more.
Yeah.
When was that? In 22? I guess you must have bought a bunch of checks or something.
Okay.
Copy paper and toner, 2,800. Increase due to inflation and taking on
What did
administration.
you say, 28?
Oh,
2,000.
2,000, sorry about that. I need to put my glasses on. So your copy, I'm sure your, copy paper and toner did increase due to the taking on administrative duty.
Yeah.
For both.
Postage, 1,000. That's less because, is that because you're
Yeah, too.
being more efficient?
Trying. We're working on it.
Travel, 2,500. Well, actually, you spent more than that in 2022.
Mhm.
Oh, you didn't, I guess, previous.
Did a lot of travel, didn't.
Subscription dues, 800.
That's 1%, so I just kind of put that figure in there. 1% of salary, so we can figure that once we get that. I moved equipment, all that to flat book.
So that's a decrease of 350.
Mhm. That looks.
293.
This is 43, I think that's supposed to be, like,
Oh, wait a minute. I'm making a
that doesn't
mistake.
add up right. That's gonna be-
393.
That's cool.
Might bring that up for it.
It's got them last year. Look at that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Mhm.
I don't know what I was doing.
Okay, let's move to agenda.
So, 248, 392, or 393. Didn't make much there.
Well, there's his.
All right.
These are the most that are here.
Okay, I need a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Paul, second by Gail.
That was me.
Earl.
I gotta clear my throat.
After I didn't hear you.
Ventriloquist.
I was gonna say earlier, but I wasn't sure it wasn't.
All those in favor? I say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0. Actually, I didn't hear you. I just put Gail on it. Next, we had treasurer budget.
50 out of that.
Minus 550.
Loretta longevity.
Copier told her she got her own copier.
Mm-hmm.
Got that copier out of the administrator's office.
So before she got her copies from,
She had a really, really old copy machine.
one of those you,
Yeah. We put it on and then turn it by hand.
Yeah, it's really old.
Mimeograph.
yeah.
Yeah.
Tax statement mailing, 12,000.
Yeah, they were pretty close through the years.
I guess they still mail all statements, don't they?
She's combined a lot of them, I think, to where they're not going, they're getting 3 or 4 envelopes. She's tried to consolidate.
Several pieces of property.
Mhm.
Postage 460, oh. Postage 462,
I figure.
travel 1,500. Oh, that's a mailing contract, those statements, isn't
Yeah,
it? Equipment repair, 250. Subscriptions and dues, 250.
What's this salary? I'm still looking up there at the top, this second one.
Mm-hmm.
$1 an hour, $70 a week. That's for 2 employees, but it says 3.
70 hours of pay period, sorry. Yeah, for 2,
But
shit,
it doesn't, it's not right.
for 3 employees.
It wouldn't be right.
70 times 26, $70 times 26 equal, shit,
It's 5460.
54.60.
70 per pay period, times 3 employees.
54.60.
54.60.
We talked about this at the meeting, I thought.
Yeah,
1820 times 3,
I was taking it a week and it's
it's
2
the pay
weeks.
period. Should be 70.
And I still don't fully understand what that is.
Because
other
she
than
does
everybody
not
else
have a
has one.
fund to take it out of. Years and years ago, they took, basically, gave raises out of the additional, funds, like the clerk's perpetuation, or not the clerk's, the recorders, the plat book, sales disclosure, all that, and she doesn't have a fund like that. She doesn't have an extra
So
fund.
they just created one.
No, it just
No,
comes out
it's
of
just
general.
part of her, it's just part of her other salary, it's on
wage.
2 different lines.
I'm just curious why it wouldn't have just went on the other one.
Because they keep that separate where they know that with that.
basically, than wherever departments get
I,
the
at one
same.
time, I wanted to consolidate them all together, but then they said, well, you can't do it because it's coming from another fund. It's not coming from their,
I mean, hers could be.
yes, hers could be, it could be on one line.
It's a
It's-
separate line
It's
item.
kind of confusing when they compare them to the others, you know, I don't know. It'd be nice if we could make it go away and be all one.
But you're not gonna have it that way in the other, and then you're gonna say,
No.
well, then it keeps it separate where this is
Right.
that extra, where it matches up.
See, you can look at this one, then you can look at the others and
And you'd be like, hey,
It should be separate.
they're the same.
It should be separate. That's what it's called.
It should be what?
So it should be separate, that's what it's, if that's what it is, you know, it's additional, salary for, to keep them in line more with the others.
Right.
yep, so we're at a total of 170, 370, and you cut off 550.
Would entertain a motion?
Make a motion.
Motion by
Second.
Keith, second by Stan, all in favor, say by saying aye.
Okay.
Motion carried 7-0. Moving on to the sheriff.
Oh, you skipping recorder?
Oh, is it there? Oh,
Mine,
oh,
mine's
it's out of order.
Is
I
it?
remember that now.
Yeah. We need to move it back.
That happened at the meeting.
What is it?
It's out of order.
Mine is.
That's the only mistake.
Oh, okay.
This one's gonna be pretty quick. We're gonna move this one along. 2150, 146, 521.
Minus longevity, because all her
Longevity.
supplies are purchased out of the perpetuation fund,
Which is on what?
which is saving. Oh, we need to go ahead and look at that.
And look at the,
There's money here, 2150.
What page is that on?
Department must be food,
clerk's
lunch,
recorder,
open.
page 30 is the perpetuation.
I mean, there's. Where's the part-time people?
on this.
The part-time's paid out of perpetuation, isn't it?
They
Yeah.
don't have-
Part-time paid out of perpetuation.
This is the clerk.
I'm at the clerk, sorry, I'm on the wrong one.
Yeah, I was gonna
I
say,
looked
that
at the
doesn't, I
clerk,
don't see
hold on,
it.
I need to look at the,
I'm not.
Which
right
one do we
now.
need?
we need the recorder's perpetuation.
I was looking at the clerk.
Me too.
It's not a budgeted fund, I don't know. It's not a budgeted.
No, it's not.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
No.
Conversation, you have that.
Yes, you have that.
I think she just has always come to our meeting and told us what she
What
does.
she, what the balances are and what have you.
Right, because it's not
Should we have
Right.
funded to appropriate.
Perpetuation fund? Haven't I?
Yeah, we're going to.
We didn't.
Yeah, we did.
We did.
We did earlier today. Are you talking Rachel's fund?
Yeah, we haven't done right.
Yeah, but I know, but we already did this part of it. Why didn't we go to that?
Oh,
We
should,
should.
good point.
We should go back to the clerk and,
Yeah,
Move
See about
some-
moving
move
some of
that
that.
payroll around.
mhm.
I see what
That'll
you're
take the
saying.
money out of it.
We
I
didn't
mean,
look
if you're
at
gonna do it for that,
Let's
this
get-
has,
Yeah,
this has a kind of a.
Well, we weren't doing salary, so we just kind of were,
We're gonna
Went
stick
over.
where we're at, or we're going backtrack.
We just do the recorders and then go back to the clerk.
Yeah, makes more sense.
Now, which one is it? Oh, it's not in here, you said.
no.
Yeah.
That shall fund
not in-
for
Oh, it's
the
not,
recorder's
yeah, no, that's not.
You've got plenty of money to cover your supplies next year, Jane,
Oh, yeah.
as always.
Oh, it should be on that. All right, that-
So I think we gotta take the longevity
Actually, we
away.
can, we can look here. Is it in this, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Not find this.
Disclosure, monthly addition.
Is it right after the surveyor corner perpetuation?
Here's the clerk. Well, that's a clerk.
That's the clerk. I don't think we
Yeah.
have one for
No,
the
don't have it.
recorder.
No,
Oh, we don't.
no,
No,
What's it called?
Recorder's perpetuation.
Okay, so it's not. I get confused because that
Yeah.
says record perpetuation.
Oh, no. I get that. Multiple recorder.
Oh, why isn't there one?
It's probably just
What are you
printed,
looking for?
I
What
guess.
are you looking for? Are you looking for the
Oh,
recorder?
because it's not in our budget.
Because it's not in your budget. That is.
But we were looking at the, that
Oh,
cash
oh.
balance, and you probably just didn't pull that because it
The
wasn't part of
cash
our
balance,
budget.
I just asked, the other day, I think we're right around 80,000. I told Paul we're right around 90, we're around 80,000. And I.
She told you that?
Do you know what you set aside for your part-time
share that with
employees that do that?
For our part-time employees, yes.
Part-timers.
Yeah.
If, for next year, if they get, we were asking for a $16 per hour for part-time, that'd be $39,064. And that includes salary and social security.
And the record perpetuation is 77,668. Is that cash balance?
What were we talking about moving here?
And we're looking about pulling some of their salaries out of there too. They've got so year to date, they've brought in 50,488.54
For the year,
to date, just for 2023. Let me see what they brought in last year. Last year, total receipts were 66,848.
But your part-timers that were
I
working
don't
on
see-
perpetuation are already being paid out of the perpetuation.
Yeah, they're being paid out of perpetuation.
So what would we take out of here?
The raises.
The part-time people are paid out there, not full-time.
The
Out
part-time,
of
out of
perpetuation.
perpetuation.
But what I'm saying is, what can we take out of this
Oh,
county general,
You can
And
pay
put in
portions of your full-time out of there.
but you have to work at perpetuation duties?
okay, are you saying what could you,
Out of your cash balance. for your
okay,
perpetuation.
so I was thinking that identification security protection fund, because they want us to put that over into the general, to the recorder's perpetuation fund anyway. Is that what you're asking? What we
No, they're asking if you can fund additional wages out of your perpetuation.
Well, if we could use that identification security protection, we can.
But that's not long-term, that's just that's not
It
long-term.
hasn't been,
I thought you just said that you're just being able to move it over,
but they haven't cut it off yet. I don't know if they're gonna cut it off.
but it's not guaranteed.
Okay, but our perpetuation is, yeah.
Yeah, your perpetuation is.
take 10% of the salaries.
We get funded from our perpetuation. The rate from our perpetuation. Because it's only part of the salary. We couldn't fund the whole salary because it doesn't meet the criteria for it.
That's not their only job.
Correct. It can't be 100%.
Can we take 10% of your salaries for your office, Jane, out of that?
Well, you could take these raises that I'm asking for, that's all out of the recorder's perpetuation. You could do the raises out of that, but I don't know if that's 10% or not. I don't think it is. If that's what you're asking.
Let's wait on that.
I think the original intent was to use the perpetuation fund for the three
Okay.
offices to
Okay,
pay the
I do
raises
want to,
for those salary people.
since y'all want that bit. I'm just gonna explain something else. I think I explained this the other night at the budget hearing, but out of my recorder's perpetuation, I'm already paying for our office supplies and other charges. I'm paying for our computer software, our computer hardware, any office equipment that we ever get, whether it includes copier, computers, our large scanner. I pay for everything, not just that $4,000 that I'm talking about. Last year, we paid $77,000 dollars for the different things, charges that we had. So that's why I said I can take care of the raises, but and I did, you know, we always estimate, as everybody does, we always estimate our revenue low. And our, expenses high, that way we know that we're gonna have enough.
I don't think we can do anything with it.
Oh,
That's all we can do right now.
my question was, can you and say Mary Lee, part of your salary be paid out perpetuation?
Oh, yeah,
At one point, I was told, no, it couldn't be unless you actually perform duties pertaining to perpetuation. Is that not true? That you had to keep your time separate or something?
yeah.
Or is it because it's no more than 10%, you can do that, or
No,
no?
it was with that sworn statement, we couldn't pay for our salaries at one point, and we didn't put this on the sworn statement, but I guess why I was thinking I could do this is because I was gonna use that security identification protection fund.
Okay,
But yes, David, we could pay it for a portion of it, but just not all of one salary.
okay. So at this point, we're just
Taking out the longevity.
taking off the longevity.
Need a motion?
What's that bring it to?
146, 521.
2150.
Did you make that motion, Paul?
Well, I'm waiting for him to ask for it.
Oh, okay,
I'll call for a motion.
So move.
I'll second
Motion by Paul, second by Stan, all those in favor?
it.
Aye. Opposed, nay. 7-0. Now we go to the sheriff.
Are we gonna go back to the clerk? Because
Oh, yeah.
right now we're not paying
We
anything
go
out of
back
the
to the
clerk.
clerk.
And we can't. So you're gonna have to help us with this.
What, I'm sorry?
On the clerk,
Oh, you wanted that one?
is the clerical your part-time?
Yes.
Okay.
What did you say about part-time?
The clerical position right there is her
Oh.
part-time.
Okay, so we already went down to all this, so we're just doing the salaries.
So it has, what'd you say, 77,000?
Yeah.
Is that what you said, Kelly? This one has
No, this one has,
94? As of when you printed this, or,
yeah, you want to pull up the current balance.
oh,
Your current balance should be right in front of you in that orange. So the current balance, well, see, that's weird because the clerk's perpetuation is in here, but the records perpetuation is not, which, yeah, I can't make heads or tails of that.
Why does it look so much higher? All ago when I looked at it.
It is clerk record perpetuation.
In the clerk's record
Yeah, 32,000.
perpetuation, the cash balance is 95,000.
Yeah,
Well, what is it?
right here it says 90, like 94, but over here it's like 300 and something.
372.
What's this? Am I on the wrong
Okay.
one?
So the balance that's in your book is as of September 9th. That is your ending balance plus all your revenue for and that's why I asked her this morning, are we still expected to bring in, because if I remember that number is 95,000, am I correct? That's left to come in 95 for this year. Top of,
Yeah.
okay. And then she's got, yeah, here it is. And then she's got 190 coming in for 2024, and she's only spending 2,650.
That's pretty significant.
Yes. So I feel that we can move stuff.
Wouldn't you have a balance in your book?
Huh?
I don't have a balance.
Yeah, you do, right in the very front of it. You're right holding it.
It's all county general.
Oh, that's just county general, right? She's at the
Where'd
clerk's,
you get that?
she's at the
On page
clerk's
30.
perpetuation,
Oh, gotcha.
not general.
There wouldn't be one there.
Yeah,
We've been here too long.
I'm in front of page 30.
Look out there.
But then this really, this is through 24.
mhm.
That's why it's way different. I was like, oh, that's really different. This is now. This is through,
It's not much different.
well,
It goes from 94 to 92
yeah, but
at the top.
It's bottom line.
Then you go down and you add your rest of your revenue for 2023, and then you add your revenue for 2024,
yeah, where's
and
the
it grows
budget?
substantially then.
Yeah,
Why did it grow that much?
the expense is only
Shaking the bush.
Was there something, was there other expenses out of that last year?
2,600. It only says 3,150 last year.
Why is that growing that much?
It's a lot.
Otherwise,
All right, let's see here.
Is that 190,000 not right?
That's what I'm
I
looking.
mean, that is a lot.
It's supposed to be,
There's a carry forward receipts of 87,436.
huh?
There's carry forward receipts from last year for 87,436, 69.
That right here,
We receipted in 9,126 already.
I've got right here from Rachel that on here, you said that you bring in 95,000 from July to December. You'll bring in 190 from January 1 of 2024, December of 31. And then from January 1 to June of 2025, 95,000. So she anticipates to bring in 95,000 twice, average 190.
What you bring in last year?
Look.
She received in 13,205.
13,000? Oh my. Are you on? That's a lot, that difference.
Yeah, is this right?
It came from a report I pulled.
Because now that I'm looking here, you only brought in 13,205 in 2022,
I'll have to bring in 190.
and year to date, you've only brought in 9,100. Huh?
Is it supposed to be 95,000? I mean, 95.
Is this supposed to be 9,500, 95,000?
9,519,000.
That makes
Because in
sense.
21, it was receipted in 12,462.
and we didn't spend it. Well,
I thought we had a slush fund in there.
Yeah.
like me, we didn't cut this. Right
Orders,
I guess it's in the report I pulled.
I think it was 9,500, 19,000.
that's all I got.
That makes sense.
All right. Oh, here, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because this is based off our court fees and everything. That is, yeah,
That's the perpetuation.
that's the perpetuation. That is 9,500, yeah.
And 19,000.
Okay.
A little bit easier to understand now. Thank you.
No, you're good.
Well, that changes that.
That changes that. It's that one. This is only supposed to be 19,000, not 190.
That was looking so good.
Yeah, that was looking really good.
So,
Oh, that's not something we can do.
No. Take Rachel's salary out of that one.
You're so funny.
Oh, shoot. All right.
Could we still do a portion?
Yeah, a small one.
Okay. Treasure.
Kelly, what'd you say?
Does that change that figure too?
Well,
And the.
Does that change the bottom line too?
Oh,
Chris?
sorry.
Is
Which one are we on?
95,546.
Perpetual. For
it
Clark?
still has quite a bit.
It still has.
It still has 95,000.
I think
Yeah, it's not
115.
just cash in there. It's not long-term income.
Not, yeah, not sustainable. Depending on what you take out of it.
We didn't take anything off the clerk's perpetuation, did we?
Mhm.
So it stays at 2650.
Not going down very fast. What's next?
What did you say that ended up being? I come to 115,746. I'm talking about on the cash balance.
Oh, I didn't redo that.
I didn't
Okay.
refigure that page.
No, I was just,
What'd you come up with?
On this, 115,746.
I'll redo it if you want to.
Really just 237,940.
So we're looking at 19,000.
Where we at?
So you're looking at a plus of 21,650. And then a cash balance of 184,896 plus 19,000, 2650 minus gives you a cash balance of 201,246
Huh? That's not right.
on the clerk's perpetuation.
No.
So the ending cash is 184, am I right, clerk's perpetuation, 184,896.
Where do you have
We're
that?
in, I'm looking at, I thought you wanted me to redo this.
That's what I did, but that's not what I came up with.
Okay,
I did it twice.
plus 19,000, correct? 19,000 minus 2650, 201,246 is an ending cash balance.
What I got? All I did was subtracted the 9,500 and the 190, the 95,000 and the 190,000. And then add the 9,500 and the 19,000.
Oh, I didn't take this 90, take that, change that balance.
That should be 115,746.
So we have to subtract off the 95 for miscellaneous revenue up there, because that's what she. One 28. 200. Let me do that twice. 92,775. done for. You get 115,748, 746,
Yep.
Bingo. You're on
115,
it.
746.
So I can still do it.
It's not sustainable because it's not cash, but we could take relief off for a year or two.
Or just take a raise to help with that.
Yep. I'll figure that out later. Okay.
You have about 16,000 that you can.
Yep.
As long as your expenses don't increase, that you can take.
Out of there,
And if you continue that every year, then you would never reduce your balance.
cash balance.
So there's 16,000 available. It would never, so you probably can do that. What do you think?
I'm willing to help out any way I can.
I mean, you're looking at. Here we go, 2,000, 7,000. Oh,
You know, we're making changes here, we can see how it goes for a couple of years, and if something needs to be changed again, we know it goes back on wherever.
she's actually also reducing it,
Producer
Her-
employee.
employee,
Mm-hmm.
that's what we're wanting.
And insurance, all the insurance, so that not just this money, but all the
Yep.
insurance.
No.
Yeah.
Are we saving the wages till the end or are we not? I mean, because they're all different percentages, they're all
I
over the
know.
board. I mean, how do you wanna look at it? I think we gotta look at that wage study and see how they're categorized and make sure we're not spreading the gap.
But we could go ahead though, then move this amount of money and then decide that later, right?
Move the part-time over there.
Well, move, that portion, say 16,000 out of here to the perpetuation fund. Is that gonna complicate it too much? Or do you wanna wait till the,
I think you need to save all the wages to the end.
no? We can do that. I thought you were wanting to look at what you could pay out of perpetuation.
Well, that's when I think we had that 190 income and only expending 26. It's only 19.
I mean, I thought we were looking at this like we were looking at what one,
The surveyor.
the surveyor. I thought we were doing the same thing with this.
Mhm.
Where you could,
You wanna do like a 60-40 split on the part-time person? You wanna do like a 60-40 split for the part-time person?
it'd be about that amount, wouldn't it? 60 would be like 16,000 now.
That'd be what you talking, you said 16.
15,288,
Yeah. I got your data wrong.
or you could do the 40 and because you're gonna have to have social security, or you're gonna take the social security and everything out of that portion, or you, like if you do the 60/40, the 40% is gonna come out of that, of the social security, or is it all,
I just keep it all right there.
all right there?
You see it in the corner.
So just take the 15,288.
Cause this whole splitting between two different funds is a mess with trying to divide all of that. And a lot of pulling it.
So you think that just 60/40 on the salary and then have the social security and retirement all in one? Make it simple?
Rachel, you good with that?
No matter hurry, didn't it? As long as Kelly's one that's gonna have to deal with it.
So if we're to do that, we could cut this by 16,000, move it to the clerical, or the clerk for perpetuation.
Pay 16,000 out of the, perpetuation.
No, out of the,
Yeah.
Out of the, okay, out of the
well, yeah,
clerk.
and then pay it out of the perpetuation. I was like, say that part-time clerk or whatever.
I mean, it's not gonna be exactly the
Right.
16, but
No,
That'd be 15.
I'm just rounding.
based off of that, yeah. Okay, well, we can,
Split 60/40.
okay. We're gonna be here till Christmas.
You want a motion?
Oh, yeah.
We gotta move on.
Yeah,
We
so,
gotta move on.
I'll say,
no, too
Well,
much.
then normally I would abstain, but in fact, this is next year's budget, and I got a relative retiring at the year, so there's no conflict of interest, so I'll make a motion, we do it.
So
I'll
you're
second
taking 16 out of the clerk is what you're saying.
clerk perpetuation. Or we're taking 16 out of which, what?
To fund the rate,
To fund
just
just
the
the,
part-time.
just
Just
the
the part-time
part-time.
employee.
Part-time.
So that would bring that to 9480, that clerical line,
How much you say?
9480. And then 16,000 in the clerks.
So she's retiring. Well, she says she is sometimes. She threatened to for the first of the year, but at the end of the year, she's talking about retiring. Normally I abstain anytime to do just possible conflict of interest.
So that'd be 16,000 going to the perpetuation.
Yes, that's what that would be.
What's that leave us with here? We take 9480 off and 700.
So we're at. What is it? You just take off 1,600 off that 21, 7,3, 720, 700,
Right.
16,000. Did you get 200, 938? 200,000, 938.
Oh, you're at the top.
And I gotta redo the grand total, yeah, because we added it, we already made a motion. We got a second one on that.
And David doing that will sustain that balance. Or it should,
Yeah, it
as long
should.
as long as they're still bringing in.
That same,
Cause that
that
counts
money
for
they
you
say.
about 19.
You know, watch for a couple of years and change, that we tweak it.
And do what?
Go to the different 50/50 or 40, swap the 46 the other way.
Find more general and raise the tax.
Raise our assessed valuation.
So did you get 221,940 for the bottom number? 940, yeah.
How much?
221,940. All right.
I'll make a motion on that.
Yeah, Paul didn't make a motion, I didn't second it.
Well,
All right. So we want to go to the sheriff now and do all their extras.
Yeah, we ought to vote.
all those in favor, motion carries 7-0.
And then you need to do that on the perpetuation.
So let's just move over to the general unless they're all.
It's like they all fit later together, yeah.
Taking it off the
All
short
right, so we'll
ball.
get that straight. And then
Should we
the
go ahead and put that over
perpetuation.
here?
For the clerk's perpetuation, yeah. So you're gonna copy, I copied this whole line,
The clerical.
30.
yeah, the clerical. Okay, you don't have those amounts in there yet? You did, you did.
Records.
No, it's 7.
Yeah. Just fly around.
Where we put it in?
Put it at the bottom then.
Yeah.
Just put clerical 16,000.
Yeah.
We said, 15,000.
Okay.
$650. We'll go ahead and vote on that one.
And we will go ahead and vote on the clerk's perpetuate. Because you're on any social security and retirement, we probably do it all in the other one
In general.
in general.
Mhm.
So we can do this one
Harder
and
to figure,
complete it.
so we're just.
Yeah,
Making it a little less.
Mhm.
So though, I would entertain a motion then to approve the clerk's record perpetuation with the additional 16,000 salary clerical added to the supplies. It brings a total of 18,650.
Make a motion.
Motion by Keith. Second by Gale. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Yeah.
Huh?
Hey,
Opposed?
hey,
We'll get it.
Hey,
I thought you said nay. Motion
Nay.
carries 7-2.
just if you're listening.
I got rid
Think I need a drink of coffee.
Okay, I guess we'll go back now to the sheriff. This looks a little more lengthy.
I'm gonna take a break. So we can do this one.
Take a break.
Yeah, why shouldn't?
That's board members and. That's
What,
that merit.
Bear board.
Is that a have to? If not, we're
Yeah.
removing everybody else.
So we'll take that
Is it
off.
a have to be paid?
I think it might be. And it's established in the write-up that they get paid.
We need to
Pay's
check.
been cut.
We need to check, but we can't have some that, we need to know if they're required or they're not required. If it's absolutely not required, we have to cut it, because if we're cutting other people, we can't treat
You're
some
talking the
winners and
750.
losers.
You're talking the 750.
Yeah, I'm just saying if you
What,
guys know,
What's that?
If it's-
I don't
Would
even
you
know
like
what
to
you're
have some
talking about.
input on this?
this,
From the sheriff.
the board member pay, I was just
Oh.
saying, since we cut the other board member
Is
pay,
available.
Yeah,
if that's
Yeah.
not statutory where we have to, we need to remove that.
yeah.
Because if we're gonna
So
do it
you
for one
got rid
board,
of one, we got.
Do we have other-
I mean, unless you can't.
Questions, maybe? Do you want? Is this something that Eric Dickerson could answer?
If it's statutory.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm like Gabe, yes, that thinks it is. I think Paul thinks it, but that don't mean.
Yeah, I would rather know for sure, because we don't wanna establish a precedence that some people get paid and some don't when it's not necessary.
The thing
Or if it
is-
is necessary, it's fine.
right,
Dabney apparently had a board meeting in 23. Because nobody's turned in a bill.
It might be something the state thinks you're paid, I don't know. We need to find out.
I honestly don't know that the state,
Well, used to
Sets
they
up
hire
the
deputies
merit
and hiring fire deputies at the sheriff's will, and they come up the merit board.
under Clete votes,
So it's,
I don't think the state mandates you have to have a merit
I don't know that. There's a
under the
statute.
sheriff's department unless it's changed.
We can come back to it.
Alright,
They've expended $275 out of there.
What'd you say?
They've expended $275 out of there.
Have a merit board,
So they are paying somebody then.
The question is, do you have, you know,
Right.
is it, yeah.
Okay, so is this the one where this one deputy is, listed in two places? Here
Yes.
and,
yes, they're budgeted here and under public safety,
oh,
so.
we got a lot to cut in that
Yeah.
public safety. So if we were to cut it here, then that wouldn't help your public safety.
got one of them here.
Oh, sure.
Eric's looking at that also.
Oh, that's true. It'd just be that one.
So I gotta have lead all over my face, because I have it on my hand and I just rub my face.
So we're taking out the longevity here.
Minus the longevity, the 4,600.
Is that all you're taking out, or are we trying?
Office supplies, 950. Special rates, 100. Tires, 3,500. Those are fairly reasonable.
Mhm.
Fuel and oil, 40,000.
I wonder why the internet's going
Most
up
of
whenever
it
it's
says,
not.
the rest of it looks like it's in line with 23. No, that,
The internet's down, but it's asking for an increase, I don't know.
So it's kind of weird.
Mhm.
Not much change to the rest of it.
Hello? Okay. How come the internet went up? Are you close to the courthouse or to the annex? Won't you run out here? Okay, okay,
he moved
Bring
that
that over
temp,
you
his
too.
deputy to
thanks.
over here and lit.
He's got it budgeted both places.
He's,
Well,
Page the 10th deputy.
Yeah,
he's got a.
cause I've got here,
You can-
I crossed it out and put page 36 and he put over here, so we can take out that 10th deputy.
He put them in both places, so we could decide which one we wanted to pay it out of,
Yeah. that's-
so
yeah.
one or the other.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm saying we could take out the 10th deputy.
We really, well, we
Put it
have
over
to,
Here,
we
Are
have
you
to
taking
cut in
out-
public safety,
taking
our
out
public
public
safety
safety
budget
also?
doesn't look good.
Take out one or the other, no.
I said you would take it out in public safety also, not give it to him at all.
Don't want that.
Oh, no, we don't want that.
Or require them to do that grant next year to get, if we can get one of them and then fund one and then do the grant for the other one if we can.
He was gonna look into that, did he?
What
Yeah.
about the grant?
that's a new employee, that's a new hire, right? So,
On this
I
one?
mean,
Yeah, he did. He
we
can't
don't have,
retroactive.
we don't
the
have to
cost
do
grant.
the
He
new
can't
hire, I mean,
Do it and then get it paid back, but
Just 'cause-
you potentially might be able to do that with it, I mean. He thinks maybe apply for a JAG grant next year, he said, but I don't know that you can go backwards either. So if you fund one and then wait and see, or set aside a little bit for a match and in case that happens, you could maybe possibly get to that way.
Katie gave me Indiana code and I asked her about compensation and she says it's state code and yes, they have to be paid.
What is that, Erla?
It's, IC 36-8-10-3.
The,
Thank you.
the board members.
Yes. They must have a sheriff's merit board consisting of 5 members. As compensation for service, each member of the board is entitled to receive from the county a minimum of $15 per day or a fraction of the day. And I said, says who? Is it state mandated? She said that's state code. Yes, it is.
Is that what Eric was saying?
Pretty much, the $15 was.
And they're probably standing right next to each other while they're doing that.
So that one has to stay then, I guess. It sounds like it anyway.
We can reduce it.
Well, what is it? Yeah. How many times do they meet?
We can,
Yeah, if there's minimum of $15.
yeah.
How many people?
But I don't know how
5 people on
often
there?
they-
5 people.
So 5, they said that'd be 10 meetings.
They don't meet 10 times.
They don't.
They don't know. Not in their own.
Sure doesn't look like it, does it?
Yeah, most they made 475, 22, so.
So we can go ahead and pay them 15, but just reduce the number of meetings. Because we're not meeting that many times.
Well, then that's 15
Or
But we got a
Right.
budget for a
75.
certain amount.
pennies aren't they?
times 6. Let's change it from 750 to 450. We can make 6 times a year.
Oh, so are they not paying all
Yours
this
is
out?
really good.
You don't pay, you don't get paid unless you meet.
I know, what I'm saying is, in 2022, they did 475, in 2021, they did 400. So
Yeah,
It sounds like it's about 100 a meeting,
yeah.
50 or whatever.
Let's cut it to $15 a meeting instead of
But it's already,
25.
well, no, it is $15 a meeting.
No,
but
that
we're
is 25.
No, we're just cutting down the number of meetings. We're still paying them 15 per meeting.
They get paid $25 a meeting.
Oh, I thought it's 15.
That's what
That's
state
not-
mandate
minimum
says,
requirement.
that you,
Oh, but you're saying they're getting 25?
they get paid 25. I was on it, so I know what the pay was. I'm saying let's change it to 15.
We can change it to 15. I mean, as you said.
That's better than what the,
Oh, yeah.
Parks Board guys are getting, or the planning and zoning people are getting.
I think they're all 25. I think that was changed last year.
I think that was changed when Luke was here.
I think it was.
He said that.
It was changed. It went to 25 under Luke. I was still on the merit board when it went back to 25, from
Yeah.
40 to 25, I think. It cost us
I
$15.
think all boards are 25 right now.
Yeah. But I think we ought to change it to 15.
I did too.
If all board for 25, I think I'd keep it level across.
No, we're eliminating the
Yeah.
levels the board pays.
Unless it's statute.
Then all boards that were.
I think we need to keep it at the state level.
The state
The man,
guideline
yeah,
says
15.
15. The state don't say, so far, we had nobody say.
Yeah, we paid more
planning,
because the
zoning,
council wanted to pay more.
Whatever.
Well, no, I'm
Well, it's
agreeing.
probably
with
hard
you.
to get somebody.
Oh,
I'm agreeing with
yeah.
you, $15.
I mean, it was, like I said, it was up to 40 one time.
Yeah. Well, that's up to the
When
council.
I first went on the merit board, it was 40.
Yeah.
But I think we drop it to
I mean,
450.
it's 20 minutes.
And they, well, Alan can pay them.
Well, I agree with you. Drop
20
it.
minutes
Say it.
one way.
Yeah.
I thought the lease payment on the cars was.
If you don't have to stop, wait on.
So what?
The lease payment of the cars.
Yeah.
It did for a while, but I think it changed.
Well, I mean, we have a
On the
excess
street
there.
stretch, they started
That's
at
40,000.
40,000.
It changed.
I mean, look, I mean, yeah,
why.
but I'm asking you, why can't we pay it out there?
I remember.
If that's what it was, maybe it was just an agreement for a couple of years, but I mean, can we take some of this expense and pay that inmate housing?
And then I know the lease was the same, but in 2022, so we paid 20,000. In 2023, we paid 40,000.
Just one day. They started after the last one.
I remember that at the end of last year, there was a,
I don't think we should have a big cash balance there. Unless there's a bunch of recurring fees.
Something that's gonna be coming up. So are we in agreement to go on to 450, $15 a meeting? Give him 6 meetings a year?
I'm okay with it.
I just leave it the way it is, but take a vote to it.
Uh,
I just leave it the way it is, but take a vote, see what happens.
Yeah, I think pay the minimum.
You gonna make a motion?
Yeah, sure.
15?
I guess
15,
if that's
6 meetings,
minimum.
6 meetings,
I mean,
5-member
We got a lot of
board.
money to cut.
Okay. You made
You
the
rather,
motion.
you rather
she
pay the board
seconded it?
members or
Sounds good.
get something,
Okay, there you go.
Change that to 450.
cut something else?
Okay, who made the motion?
I made the motion.
Keith made the motion, second by Stan, or Kelly. All those in favor of reducing the
Aye.
If that's the statutory requirement, then.
merit board from 25 to 15 per meeting, a board of 5 to a total of 450 per year. Signify by saying aye.
Nay.
Hey.
Up to that amount, right? I mean, if they don't meet 6 times, we're not just gonna pay
Be
it.
$15.
$15 per meeting.
Right.
However many meetings they have.
Sure.
Okay, it was 6 ayes and 1 nay.
I just don't wanna pick winners and losers. If we're gonna do statutory requirements, then I wanna do that. And then the rest of them, if we're gonna X them out, we need to do them all.
Okay.
I need to find this.
Liability insurance is only, is that just on vehicles, $800?
For liability?
That can't be insured.
I don't think it's on the, that's not on vehicles.
I can't be, I can't imagine why it would be liability on the building. I mean, I can't, what is that $800 for liability? I would think it would be,
Look and see what's paid out of it.
I think they only have a couple years lease left, 1 or 2, because they were gonna decide whether they want to release or start to purchase, so I'm
next
just
year will be
wondering,
the
I
last.
think next year.
I'm
Yeah,
wondering about
that's what he said.
40,000 if we can get them in
24.
housing. I thought that's. what
24 would be the
originally-
last year, wasn't it?
Next year will be the last year. Got a first year, 19.
Just 5 years.
He likes the lease program. Thinks it's been beneficial. Whether or not we can get, go negotiate a reasonable lease after this one's.
Why did 2021 show that there's nothing expended out of that? We paid it out
Probably
of,
came out of inmate housing,
I guess, it was
and maybe the next year they paid half.
half, I think, and then it went full, yeah.
I remember late in the year last year, of him moving that lease money to a different line item. And because I brought it up, well, we're not gonna pay the lease, and they said, no, we're paying it out of something, a different direction.
The 34200 liability is for reserve officers.
Okay.
That's what I figured something like that.
I talked to, that Wagner Shealy lady also last week about, part-time employees just in general. And she said, no matter what the job is, whatever the skill set for the job should be, whether it's part-time or full-time. If you have somebody full-time making $20 an hour, you should not have somebody part-time making 25 for the same job. It's just the hours. She said if it's the skill set is this, if they work full-time, it's $25, it should be $25 for part-time. So I don't know about this, moving this up to $30 an hour for part-time.
One thing about it, they've got to do that,
Can be
keep
competitive.
availability.
Either you're doing that or you're gonna get somebody who will not take a full-time job if they don't need the insurance, because they can work less hours for the same money.
True.
And then you're not filling a full-time job. And
I think everybody that works part-time is working a full-time job. in this particular case, I understand what you're saying.
I just think,
See, it got that, EMS was that way. EMS got way out of whack. They were paying like $6 a month more an hour for part-time EMTs than they were full-time EMTs.
And you're okay with that?
Huh?
Were you okay with that?
That's not fair to the full-time.
Right.
But that was a, pretty good. But then again, you gotta have part-time employees. You gotta do what you gotta do.
One thing would be the full-time employees have benefits and insurance, and part-time people just get paid.
Yeah,
and,
nothing.
Have nothing.
but the skill set's the same.
Right, still the same, right.
If he's a CPA for part-time, his skill set has to be the same for CPA for full-time. There shouldn't be a big,
Should be the same
Huge
pay
pay.
scale.
That's
Part-time,
from
full-time,
Wagner,
it should
Sheila,
be the
Irwin.
same thing.
that's not Kelly Harding
Yeah.
But
speaking, that's them
the
saying
other
there
departments,
shouldn't be a difference there.
offering, have us come to
If I
play with that
understood her
too.
correctly.
Yeah.
So
Hey, Eric.
I think that needs to stay 20.
Get over here and put it over here and force it
That
around.
makes sense to me. I mean,
Part-time, we're on right now, we're on, hold off on your merit board business. We're on the discussion of this $30 an hour for a part-time deputy.
Yes, sir.
And Kelly brought up an interesting point. If a person was certified up, and they just put into the department to work for $30 an hour, why do you pay $30 an hour?
So that we can be competitive with our neighbors, and so that we can ask officers to come to work after working 40, 48 hours in a week to put in an additional 8 to 12 hours for us. It leads to burnout. But if we can have a roster with multiple officers on it, and we don't have to keep going to the same person time and time again, and only have to use them periodically, it works out better. So,
I see. I was telling them, you weren't here. So I had talked to the lady from the wage study, and she's recommended that if the job, I'm just gonna use David, he's a CPA or accountant. If his skill set is, his accountant skill set, it's the same whether it's part-time or full-time, he's still doing the same job. So she says that it should not be any big, huge increase for part-time just because it's part-time. She said you may end up incentivizing your full-time who don't need insurance to work less hours and just do part-time, and then it may cause you a problem in your full-time. And I kind of agree with her that
I think that if you would do some research maybe to see what the city of Tell City is paying part-time police officers and what the city of Canton is paying, I would say that we were well within reasonable.
do you know what those are?
It's just a little bit less than us. It's $27, $28 an hour. We're just trying to be competitive, and we don't have to we don't have to pay those benefits for those folks. The other thing that we have to consider, and we've had those tough conversations with people in the past, is if they're injured as a part-time officer, it's not like being injured when you're at your full-time employment. So they're gonna make 66 2/3% of what their average salary is for us. I can't live off that. They're taking a huge risk by coming to work for us, so we gotta have part-time help.
When
We
was
can't do it
wasn't it
without.
just recently in the last year or two that it went from 20 to 25?
We went from 20 to 25, and then the way that the ordinance is written is we can pay up to 30. But to try to be competitive with with the opportunities that they have to be able to work off duty, say for instance, doing security through a third-party vendor called Lawman Security. They can make $30, $35, $40 an hour working for those folks. So we're just trying to remain competitive.
But they have to drive to Evansville.
Or they have to drive to Perry County Memorial. $30 an hour, so we're just trying to remain competitive. That's all.
You know about how much you paid out in part-time help this year? Every time you get to call somebody in.
I know there's times where we have to go back and get more money. So we've already exhausted the ones this year, that's what I thought.
2,500.
Yeah, we've already exhausted it once.
That's just not a part-time, that's a pool of part-time people. They just got a group of officers they pull from and they pay them the part-time, so, yeah.
Eric, are you using part-time help quite a bit during the week? Or, I mean, I'm trying to get an idea of how much.
We'll use it where there's holes in the schedule. We know coming into any given year right now that we gotta cover 1,464 hours of PTO. That includes all of our full-time deputies, their personal time. That includes their vacation. That includes military training for our officers that are a deputy that is involved with the Indiana National Guard. That's 240 hours of annual minimum training that our full-time deputies have to attend. So we're already starting the year off nearly 1,500 hours in the hole. Couple that with still having just one deputy on duty on certain times, it's just we're doing the best we can. But we have already exhausted that part-time fund once this year. I think we started with
It's just
12,000.
7,500,
7,500.
so it'll get you 250 hours. And you need 1,400 to cover? Is that what you mean?
1,400 hours. We're almost 1,500 hours in PTO that we have to cover out the
But this
gate.
will only cover 250 at $30, 300 at 20.
So in 2022, for instance, we spent what, 20,000? We start the year off 7,500 and likely we'll have to come back. And a lot of it just depends on if we can get the part-time deputies to step up and take those hours. And we put it out there, the lieutenant handles the schedule now, and he will reach out and say, these are the gaps in the schedule, be it for a vacation, somebody needs to go to training. And if they pick them up, great. We don't schedule our part-time officers, we couldn't.
That's one thing though, Eric, you're saying you got 1,400 hours
At
starting
$30.
right out of the bat.
42,000.
There, a lot of that 1,400 won't get covered.
In
That's
essence,
in the part-time.
in essence, one of us will pick it up, we'll have to adjust schedules. When you go adjusting schedules, it puts a solo deputy out there more often.
Yeah, but you know, if you figure this rate for 1,400 hours, you're looking at $42,000. You're not asking even for a third or even a 20% of that because of the fact, you know, that it's not available.
Yeah.
This coverage not available. The only thing you do is rotate schedules around and try to fill your busy holes, correct?
And then if we don't have part-time to pick it up, then we've got to pay overtime for our full-timers. So
You mentioned,
That seems kind of low.
you
I
mentioned like,
mean, 75, because they're gonna spend more of that, because you're already at
Unless it's somewhere else.
7,250 this year, so.
you mentioned
It only
$1,400
shows
to start off with.
18% of it.
But like, you also helped out with that PSAC meeting
At
last
that,
week.
right.
You mentioned
Yeah.
you're filling in for city of
What
Calhoun,
did
they're
you
gonna
do,
officer short, so what your deputy is filling in there, and that takes them away
Pretty
from.
hard.
Okay. And you do the same thing, but you gotta like help each other all the time.
We're trying to do the best we can and not come out the gate. We know that we're gonna go through this training. As long as our part-time deputies continue to work, we know we're gonna go through it. We just have to come back and find ways. The 4929, I think, is where we pull from. So,
Yeah, is there somewhere else? Maybe
that's the only fund that we use for part-time deputies.
just this one?
Just
You don't
that
have it anywhere else?
And
You're not,
then we have overtime in 4929. And we start with the balance of.
But you don't
15,000.
use overtime for part-time.
We don't use overtime for part-time, no.
The part-time gets paid out of the overtime budget. When it gets used in the part-time
Why though?
to pay them, and there's money there. It
The
just comes out
part-time's
of
paid
that
out of the
fund.
overtime?
Why wouldn't you just increase the part-time, if that's what you mean?
I don't know.
We'll go to the inmate housing fund a lot of times to, once we deplete the part-time police officer salary, a lot of times we'll ask for an additional from inmate housing.
Eric, this lease payment, sorry, I didn't ask you this the other day.
That's okay.
In the sheriff's budget, the lease payment, police car, I see where the first, in 2021, it was 0, so you paid the full out of inmate housing, I'm assuming, or commissary. And then this 2022, it looks like about half.
Mhm.
And
So
then,
yeah, we agreed the first year to pay the whole thing, and then we 50/50'd it. And then, the agreement, I believe, from the council at that time is they carried it from now on. So it was just to kind of give it a little bit of a boost.
Did you maybe pay it full
Maybe
2
twice.
years?
Yeah.
And the third year, we paid half, and then we.
Which the lease will be up next year, correct?
Yes.
2024.
And we know, starting at the beginning of the year, we're gonna have to really sit down and work together to come up with some ideas.
and I know you sent me an email, but that grant situation, you can't go backwards, it's not retroactive for the COPS grant, but you could potentially look at for one of those full-time, possibly through the JAG grant next year, if we set aside a certain amount for matching.
I'll know after that meeting. That meeting is scheduled for October 5th, so I'll have a lot more answers after that meeting. There's a 4-hour meeting, 3-hour meeting in Indianapolis.
Have you ever got a JAG grant?
So it's kind of unexplored territory.
Yeah. I looked it up how the match goes, and I mean, I'd be okay with it if we could get it. I don't know how intense it is, if they're readily available because they're looking for police officers,
It's a JAG, state or federal.
federal. I think COPS is federal too, isn't it?
Federal administered by the state.
Yes. So
Through the
CGI,
state.
so we'll be.
But
we
it's
would-
federal.
It's federal money, CGI administered, but yeah.
Can I take that back? The inmate housing, the
Yeah.
part-time, there is a line item they create for part-time police officers to come out of the inmate housing once the general fund part-time.
Okay, so not the overtime. Okay. Let me look that.
It's not on the budget.
So that where we went to ask for additional funds on a grant out? Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was.
So it's not budgeted in inmate housing?
No.
That's just where we go to, so that we don't have to approach you to take it out of the general fund.
They requested it this year, which is not budgeted.
We did additional appropriation.
Is this 39,000 your only reoccurring cost? I mean, are there any other reoccurring things outside of that for inmate housing?
Let's see, there's a jail side and then there's a county sheriff's side, so,
Oh,
yeah, and yeah.
I'm still sure.
Yeah, me too.
We are jumping around, my head's hurting.
well, I'm just looking for ways to relieve.
That's right.
I know,
You're
but we're
right,
not
you're right.
making any headway.
Okay, so I stand corrected.
Okay, then
We got rid of the second page.
what do you guys want to do? There is no,
Inmate housing jail.
We got rid of it, so yes,
that's the only, what's in there is the only reoccurring.
yeah, and if we were to, run out of part-time, we would ask from there if we would expend our entire overtime before the end of the year. We would ask to move money from the what's available in inmate housing to replenish those line items. But yes, in terms of what we obligate, those are the contracts that we have annual fees for. It's our body cameras, our taser contracts. And then at one time yes, and that's where I got confused. I think that's where we pulled for the lease to get the lease started to help. Yeah, was in right here. Yeah.
Any other questions on the sheriff? Or the sheriff?
So basically, one thing they're doing is they ask for one deputy out, two different, same.
Yeah, they asked for the 10th deputy, it's coming, there's ask here, and then also in the, I guess, local
Public safety.
public safety sheriff.
But it's not the same deputy or?
Would be,
Yeah.
it's just giving an option. This is something that we had done in the past, but we don't know where the constraints are gonna be for you. So we wanted to say, if you don't wanna fund here and you could fund here,
So you're asking for either or, but not.
either or, yes. Yeah, they're labeled the 10th deputy, so that would be the same position, just different locations.
What else did we discuss on that?
Yes, it's on page 36, the 10th deputy. Also. And there's also 11th deputy there.
Yes. The 9th deputy is already on, it's the cops grant that's running out. And then the 10th and 11th deputy are the new deputies they're asking for.
So really, we'll fully fund the 9th, 10th, and 11th.
You would.
No, what I'm saying is, that's what the ask is, because the grant's going away.
Well, they got a 10th deputy on the page, the 10th deputy's twice, so it'll just be one time.
That we'll have a 9th that the grant's
Right.
going away, so we're gonna have to pay for that one too. It's not an addition of a deputy, it's just addition of the pay, the
Yeah.
cost.
Yeah, we have enjoyed having that position the last, it'll be 3 years in October. And,
I'm just gonna be honest, I don't like $30 an hour for part-time when we're only paying the full-time. Or which one of these is it? $22.93. I don't like it at all.
we understand that, and that was a tough pill to swallow, but when we have openings, we don't have the luxury of shutting the doors. We can't just say we're closed. And so we have to cover the city. We have to cover Hamilton when they don't have somebody on,
Which you are right now, aren't you?
which we are. You know, if the Troy Marshal's not working, we gotta cover Troy. That's just by virtue of the sheriff being the sheriff and the sheriff's office, we have to cover these positions. So, you know, if it takes paying them a little extra, I see where you're coming from. I truly do. But we have to make it lucrative enough to be able to get these people to come to work. You know, they got families and full-time obligations and everything else, so.
Do all your deputies have body cameras now?
Yes.
Okay.
All of our full-time, and then we have one additional that we can issue to our part-time.
So if they work extra on their shift or whatever, do they get overtime for that? Don't they? Or-
They do. Our deputies are pretty reasonable. Sometimes
Yeah,
towards shift change, they might catch a crash that might put them over a few minutes, but they're not asking for compensation for that. They understand they got a job to do. Where we see they begin to ask for compensation is if they get into beyond just a few minutes. You know, if they're working a crash in the interstate, and they're home within a half hour of the shift, we're probably not gonna hear a word from them. If they're working 2 and 3 hours over, then we expect for them to.
that $30 just incentive for someone to
Mhm.
to help out when you need it in a crunch, basically.
I also think benefits cost a lot. So I wonder how we could figure out between full-time and part-time, what those lack of benefits for part-time would be. You understand what I'm saying?
You're putting like an hourly rate to the benefit package so you can see.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, some places do that when you get hired. They put an hourly rate to your benefit package. Mhm.
Yeah, it was a tough pill to swallow, but, and we had to have a meeting with the deputies to explain, this is why we're doing this. You guys are gonna wanna take time off, we want you to take vacation whenever you wanna take vacation, right? And as long as there's not multiple deputies off at one time, the office comes first. We have to incentivize working for us part-time. And that's why we are going to this rate, so that you can take off, we'll get your position covered. And I will reach out to the two cities and get you what their current part-time rate of pay is.
How do your full-time deputies feel that the part-time make more than they do?
It's not been
It's not been an issue?
it's not been an argument that we've had to field. I think they understand, and I think that what you'll find is that many of the deputies work for either the city of Hamilton or Tell City part-time, and
I was gonna say, so it's available to them to work part-time,
absolutely.
if they can work it in.
I can see what they're doing, and it's,
A lot of policemen, work security on weekends for the company and stuff.
Holiday World is another place in the summertime. Yeah, they got a good benefit package out there, free ticket every shift you work. I mean, I don't know what the hourly pay is at Holiday World now.
you kind of paying extra for all the experience too. You know,
No, not really.
it's not like any
We have
go
this much,
low,
we're gonna do it.
paying more than whatever, you're on part-time. So I can
Well,
see
for the
that.
most part, you can hire a part-time Tell City officer. Turning loose in the county.
I just don't want us to be with only one officer in the county.
We're trying, we are trying, but if you do, we're trying.
Well,
I agree, and that is my number one goal.
At the PSAT meeting the other day, Tell City population is around 7,500, give or take 300. They got like 18 police officers. I thought I heard that
I
number.
think it's 16 or 18.
16 or 18.
I thought it was 18. I thought it was 18.
And then City of Calhoun has what, 4 or 5?
One really.
One.
Well, yeah, unfortunately down to one, but they have 3, but they have a chief and 2,
And
and a
Troy-
sergeant and a.
Troy had a town marshal. So
They got a part-time town marshal.
Then you got like 10,000 people out in the county, and you got 9 officers for it, like I said, or 7 or 8 people for them. Plus,
Hamilton's down to 1,
that what you're filling in for them.
so we have to.
So here, like in Tell City, you've got 7,500 people and 16 officers in a real condensed area.
Yes.
Out in the county, clear out to Magnet, Bristol, 20 miles from here, we got 10 people or 9 people, certain officers.
You know, somebody asked me the other day, what kind of statement do I have to say when that comes up? We are not effective. We're ineffective when it comes to doing good police work. A lot of times we're just going from call to call, and that's gonna continue.
Well, and also unlike you sit here in town, I mean, you can sit anywhere in the county,
Yeah, we got
The whole
jurisdiction,
county, the city's the county.
we got the jurisdiction in the entire
but
county.
not just cities, just in city, or can they go outside their
They
jurisdiction?
can go, they come out and help sometimes,
Okay.
yes, to a certain degree.
Level. or-
Something really bad, everybody's doing.
Right, okay.
I can see them not wanting to leave their city uncovered.
Well, they can't.
Yeah.
They can't, now they can leave one, but they cannot.
Yeah.
I just know yesterday they had 3 working on day shift, and if something happened, they could probably send one, yeah, absolutely.
Within a reasonable distance.
Was there, they'd have to get permission. As when I was at assistant chief, they had to get permission.
I think for
Okay,
now,
what we gonna do here?
I think for now, we leave that
You're the
until,
leader.
see what else we got. Leave the
One vote.
19th, let the deputy on there.
Bring your Alan up to date. We've changed the board members, your merit board. We've dropped that to 450. and to $15 a meeting.
Right, statute's $15, yeah.
That's where we're at, it's
Okay.
$15 with the statute, and that allows you 6 meetings.
Okay,
I don't know how many meetings you're having a year.
just depends. If we have something come up, we have to do it some more.
Yeah, I understand.
We're gonna knock on wood that nothing else goes on.
Okay, this leaves, you said 11, it's not 11th deputy here, it's only 10.
10, but
The 11th Sunday.
This is just public safety.
Public safety.
that's my recommendation.
What was your
I would
recommendation?
like to get one of those from potentially the JAG grant, if we can.
I like that
And-
idea.
And set aside the match.
I really like that idea, but we are tasked with right now, who writes that grant, who keeps up with the grant. If we had somebody to do that here in the county, that would be great. But last grant that we had, it took his time, not me. It took his time off the road for I don't know how long, out of the office as far as chasing down information. I think it's a great, grants are great, but who writes them? Who keeps them up with them? I'm just telling you, we don't have that kind of help like other agencies to have that. I don't even have a records coordinator. You know who my records coordinator is? Eric Dickinson. I think grants are great, but I just wish we could find somebody to write these grants for us. Does anybody agree or disagree? I just,
That'd be great.
it is very, very tough to keep up with the grant. You know, I write the small grants, those are easy. But these big grants, who answers to those? Who keeps up with them? It's just really, really
Is there
hard.
anyone here close by that writes those kind of
Does
grants?
Lincoln Hill
Or
still have someone that?
I don't know, I used to have,
Tara Daniel?
Tara Damon. I did have Tara Damon, and I paid her out of my commissary, which is allowed to do. But it's just hard to keep up with the reporting stuff on there.
No,
Great
just
idea,
Put one aside.
but the reporting,
Get it.
And then if we write it, we don't know if we get it, or, and then we're tasked with getting all the information for the grant itself.
Unless Region 15 can help, I don't know. I've never asked.
Are we
them about
moving
that.
that 10th officer to the, page 36?
We can, you
I mean,
asking if
you know,
anybody wants to do
we're trying to
this.
lower the county general.
What'd you say?
So we're kind of trying to, get things with the county generals lower, you know, we gotta hit that number, you
Well,
know.
Are you
but-
talking about the 10th deputy?
Come out of lit fund.
Yeah, the lead,
Well,
You
you're
gotta cut
gonna be cutting a huge amount there.
Like $1 million?
It's like, yeah, 800,000. So if you cut here, it's not gonna help your public safety lid.
You know, look at it.
I mean, if you just move it, it's not, yeah.
I say you'd have to leave it here. And cut public safety.
Leave it there for now, see where we are at the end of the session, we can always come back and tweak it more.
we're not cutting very much.
No,
How
there's,
come your
we're
internet
gonna
went
be
up,
back,
Alan?
we'll be back.
Excuse me?
How come the internet went
A
up
lot of these things,
$640?
There's not. I mean.
Our internet at the sheriff's office?
I mean, it's up to 2640.
I cannot remember. I know that we have the internet
Cut it
for
here,
several things, but
No, I agree. It does no good, it's just gonna make that one higher.
Yeah, it's nickels
Unless you
and
just cut it out
dimes when we
altogether,
need
that's the only thing that would.
thousands.
Where's that gonna go?
I mean, you can leave this like it is, but we're gonna eventually come back to all these again, because
Yeah.
there's not enough cuts being made.
Technically, I mean, I want you guys to remember your cash balances too. I know it's not long term, but, and we still have Hume Bridge to look at and reassessment and the levy.
I just wanna spend what we bring in.
So what'd we cut here?
Longevity,
Longevity, 46.
Cut 4,900.
4,900.
49.
Yeah, board members, longevity.
I have a feeling we'll have to revisit a lot of these.
Well, we do.
That brings that to 890,549.
890,549.
Okay. Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Paul, second by
Second.
Gail. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries 7-0. No.
We're gonna take care of it.
Surveyor already done.
Okay.
We want to do
County corner.
Just, let's read the first.
Alright, if y'all need anything, I won't be around, I apologize, but he will
I
be
mean, none of
around.
this is for sure yet, this is all
No.
just,
Do you need
we're
me?
just starting.
We may need
Yeah.
Eric back tomorrow.
Okay, and I apologize, this is something that's been planned for a while, and
Sure.
give you some also work, but I don't.
I'm gonna have to do that.
Thanks,
too.
Alan.
on corner.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you.
Appreciate your quick response. Not yours, Alan, but Eric.
We got lights in our.
Yeah.
Thanks, Eric.
Okay, page 7, corner.
Glad you got your haircut, Alan.
I think elected official should stay the same.
Elected official, 12,000.
I think that should stay the same.
Increase.
I mean,
Oh, you're saying it should
You're not saying it should stay at
I thought you
12.
said
You're talking about it
it
should
just
stay
stay the
at
same, yeah, what is what it
For
was,
now.
it was, yeah,
70-29.
yes.
Okay, I thought we did.
Why do you say that?
I say that because last year was an election and we all knew what we were gonna get paid this year. And I don't think that a 71% increase is warranted for anyone. That's,
That's what you're 71.
That's
that
what
you
I
couldn't
feel.
remember. Okay. I kind of agree that,
I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't do a good job, I don't, you know,
Yes,
nothing like that, I
busy and
just,
all
you know,
that.
we,
I agree. And before, he never was in for a raise. He never wanted a raise. He wanted to take his raise and give it to his employees.
Is he looking at the salary study?
well, if we look at ours, then ours should be higher too. I
That's
mean,
true.
we could,
Once again, like.
and I would never do that, but
That is a heck of an increase. Let's go ahead and cut it. We can always revisit.
What do you want to cut it to?
70-29.
That's true.
yeah, last year.
The same. Nice roof.
That's the commissioners are staying the same, surveyors the same, council's
So
the
you're
same.
saying because he's a part-time?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
For now, I mean, we've got to start cutting somewhere. But we're gonna get through this and have to go right back through this again,
I
and
agree.
again, and again, and again, and again.
We've been saying that.
I mean,
I know, we're not making
at
a
all.
lot, yeah, I agree.
Okay, first, the deputies, 4,500.
I think as chief deputy, we ought to go to like 6,000 instead of 6,500.
I thought you said you were gonna leave all of them the same, because these are part-time.
Yeah.
Let's just move them all over from budget 23 and,
Leave them all the same.
get rid of the longevity and leave them the same for now.
In the
Now.
coroner's office.
Huh?
In the coroner's office.
Okay, so we're gonna leave the same then.
All right, I better redo social security real quick. You guys can keep moving, I'm gonna
I
redo
can see
social
why
security.
fuel's going up, because it's bigger than.
No.
Hmm?
We didn't have a budget.
Yeah,
Office supplies. 850 overall.
I see my percentage again, I have to look at it every time, darling.
7.7.
I have to look at it every time.
Those are that's pretty normal, don't they?
Yeah. I mean, I understand the real
Should corner.
Hmm?
Corner.
I guess.
autopsy fees, I mean, I think that's reasonable based on what's been
Yeah,
happening. I mean, I hate that it went up,
I
but
think, I don't think,
it's reasonable.
I think next year, things are gonna be more in line, but we gotta allow for.
Well, in the worst case, that can come back.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
Based
let's
on
get
Pretty
down.
good until we come down to the, well, the more fees, I understand that.
That's not that much money.
But then you go to the new equipment lift and the new equipment.
The cot lift, I've got a problem with because of the fact that, we could buy a good used
So that's a cut of 4208.
van, minivan or whatever, transport
I agree.
van,
So that's a cut
with
of
a
10.
proper floor in it and everything for 15,000 probably.
Be more functional.
10,003.
Even a new one at government prices might be
Yeah.
25. I mean,
I mean,
My-
we, you know, and I understand the like to have the four-wheel drive, but, you know,
Sometimes you don't need it.
there's other ways they can get to 6
we
for
have
6,
limited resources.
whatever. There's other resources to transport a body.
We've got four-wheel drive sitting in here in the garage that hardly ever used. It's, first
Yeah,
responders.
and then I honestly think that, and I've talked to Warren about it, he's not happy about it, but it's the way it is. My opinion, I'm allowed my opinion. The white corner vehicle that is out there in the garage, get back to EMA and figure out something,
Or
other
sell
use
it.
or sell it.
Sell it and buy the van
Yeah.
and then be done with it.
You know,
Yeah.
So we need, the corner needs his own vehicle. We don't need to
No, I
be
agree.
borrowing from the.
funeral homes bought minivans.
Yeah.
That's flatbed, they go get people.
And I believe
Florida
that we've always had a
Coach,
van
Yeah.
unless somebody knows that otherwise.
I mean,
the only other time there wasn't a van, when there wasn't a van is when the funeral homes was the coroner's office and they were using
So
their
anytime the
purse.
county's had a vehicle, it's been a van.
It's always been a van.
I realize, you know, four-wheel drive is nice, but it's a luxury and we have other four-wheel drives and we have a 5-ton truck sitting right out here
That's what I'm
with
saying.
tires almost as tall as I am that can get through a flood water or
You talking about Big Red?
well, I saw it the other day.
Get your remote area.
You know, they
Sure.
said that if something really bad happens, like if you go
If
through a
you-
flood or
I
anything else,
mean,
if you
we
absolutely
when
have
I
to.
worked EMS, we transported a live body in the back of a county truck down a snowy hill.
I think-
I didn't see any disrespect there. I wouldn't see any disrespect to.
My
the
other
deceased
issue
body.
is, this lift will be custom fit for a Suburban. I don't believe this county will ever be able to afford another Suburban in the future because of the cost of those things. They got it with a grant, I understand that. But we have to look at the added maintenance, the added gas, the added insurance for being, you know, a Suburban. Just overall cost of operating one of those is much more expensive than a van.
So what are you
And
saying?
if I
Do away
don't
with
get
it?
the, don't
I'm
get the lift,
saying,
sell the
don't
vehicle
get
and buy a
the
van.
lift.
That's what I
I
would
say strike
suggest.
to 25,000.
But,
And
Yeah, I
replace it with what?
you don't replace it.
Okay, how you?
You take
Get
the
the
lift,
van.
you take the lift away, you sell the white car, you buy a van, and you should have some difference, I
So at
would
this
think.
point, we don't.
And then you have lower costs of, you know,
The only thing is that
Maintenance.
vehicle that out there
And
is
then you don't
considered
lift.
EMAs.
it's counties. Everything the EMA owns, the county owns.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
not,
that would be a commissioner decision, that's not our decision, but ultimately,
It's not the EMAs, I agree, it's a county
Yeah.
vehicle.
yeah, no, every,
So you
and
want,
the
so
departments
you
don't
want to do away
own
with the lift,
their
yes.
vehicles.
zero,
Somebody dropped their stuff.
that's not.
That's
don't worry about it.
David, he's throwing
I
stuff
just
out there.
think we have to be, we
The
have to find ways to be
2850,
more
whatever.
resourceful with what we have, because we don't have a
We're
lot
gonna
of
have to start
resources.
making some serious cuts and
Because everybody in agreement.
there's ways.
Everybody in
I mean,
agreement
I
on the
agree
cot lift.
Yeah.
Okay,
We're doing away with.
Sorry.
New equipment for a 4-person cooler,
okay.
$20,000.
Okay, the thing to do there, they've got a 3-man cooler,
Mm-hmm.
but with the positioning of it, it's not real feasible.
We saw that.
If you go, this was Steve Hauser's idea, if you go into the boiler room, which would be that wall, and cut a hole, lay 4 or 5 courses of block and pour floor level with the corners floor now, you could move that cooler and open up all that floor space.
But there's the
Or
issue
you-
there with electric box, I
Yeah.
thought.
And you'd have to
You gotta
build
have
the
3
floor.
feet. You gotta
They said it wasn't enough.
And you'd have to build the floor up, but there's a kitchen
Electric
right
code
here
says
that's not
3
being
foot.
used, maybe a.
We were thinking they'd go into the kitchen with it.
Well, then you eliminate a doorway and everything else.
No,
Yeah, you would. That's big ass cooler sticking in there. Where you gonna crawl over to get out the door?
Is that an emergency exit?
It doesn't have, I mean,
It's not got a panic bar on it, but.
there's options is what you're saying. There's options to
Yes,
move what they
exactly.
have around in some fashion. It may take a little time for us to figure that out, to be able to use three.
The thing is, we're at budget meeting right now, we gotta make a decision
Okay.
on what.
I think,
There's
I don't think we
And
need
I
to
would like
invest
to
in
propose-
That's my call.
I would like to propose that we use the tribal money for that 20,000.
I think that we just strike, we're in, like you said, we're in
Strike it out
budget,
and
just
you-
strike it out for today and we'll worry about it.
Yeah, we'll
With
worry
what
about
we-
it if he
how we're
really
gonna
needs
do it tomorrow.
Cause
Or
the
next
tribal
month,
money's
whatever.
sitting there, I mean, it has been, and
How
this is,
how often are we gonna need to store 6 bodies?
yeah, I don't know, yeah.
I mean, if we have that big a disaster, there's coolers.
I just wanted to make sure he's got a decent cooler that,
We have one that
to
does
keep-
three if we
He's
can
got a
find a
hell
way
of
to
a
do
nice
it.
cooler.
yeah.
But there was concern about if you had somebody with a communicable disease or something.
I think then we can reach out to one of our neighboring counties, and maybe if we have to pay $200 one or two times a year, it would be worth it instead of
Oh,
a
yeah,
$20,000
it's not bad.
cooler
Yeah.
plus extra electricity to plug it in 24/7.
Plus the fact that it's sitting there deteriorating,
I mean,
every day it goes down.
I understand it
like
would be
a refrigerator.
nice, but we just don't have the funds to have,
Yeah, I agree, it'd
Things
be
that-
awesome.
are not utilized.
What about for autopsy fee, Chris, 23,000?
No, we're leaving that.
I think
We gotta leave that.
Yeah.
it looks like it's trending
That's
up. I
been
mean, I
missed.
think that's,
That's been misbudgeted for several
We,
years.
we continue to appropriate more money for that every year.
and they can only be, that can only be used for that, so it can always come back. I
If
think that was a good move on his part to move that increase that looked
I think right now we use
over the last several
21,000.
years.
You think we could cut that to 20 instead of 23?
No,
No?
I
no.
just leave it there.
I would.
There are so many that the state requires to be done.
Yeah, he gave us that in his
Yeah.
packet. It was really nice to have that
Yeah.
information.
I can remember when I worked in the coroner's office under different
didn't realize
corner, or under
Uh-huh.
a corner, and saying, well, I don't know, this will maybe.
Okay.
Okay.
Can't afford it.
Autopsy.
All right, you ready for these numbers?
Yes.
So what did you do with the cooler?
They cut everything.
Cut it.
So the top number is 29,902. 20,000 is 2,850. 30,000 is 27,225. For a grand total of 59,977. With a budget reduction of 55,306. Assessor.
Okay, I need a
Oh,
motion.
no, I'm sorry.
Make a motion.
I'll make that motion. Did you make
I'll
that?
second it.
Motion by Stan, second by Keith. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
I make him cut it. That's right.
Motion carries 7-0. Next, we have assessor.
Social Security,
Okay, I guess we strike
21,
the
25.
Longevity.
longevity.
What's that? It says it right there.
Is it 2950 then?
Is 1,000 built in at the top?
That's what I figured.
So the Social Security changed to 21, 25 on, are you looking at corner?
No, I
Oh,
already moved on,
Okay,
sorry. I'm looking at this, it says it in the notes here, $1,000
We
one.
were asking, is there 2950 in longevity or?
Do you have 1,000 there for,
That's hers. She
and then you
just
put
put that
everybody
in
else
her notes.
separate?
Yeah, she just put that in the notes.
Okay, so it's the one,
Yeah.
the 1950 includes it all.
The 1950 includes it all yet.
Okay.
Hers is the 2650 or 4650.
No, I think we'll remove the longevity for now.
Yeah, we'll take it off. 1950.
The other, I mean, the expenses are basically the same as last year.
Everything's the same except the salaries. Except for I did away with, eliminated the part-time position.
Your postage, when do you usually use that? If, I know you don't mail those Form 11s anymore, so is that why it's 0 out of 500 for this year?
What is zero?
Use, for postage.
No, if the Form 11, if I did those, it would come out of property reassessment,
Okay,
not here.
okay, so I just see that. the-
Typically on postage, I usually wait till closer to the end of the year to see if I even need it.
And then you stock up or something if, and then sometimes,
Because we mail out business personal property in March. So I kind of just see where we're at, and then if I need it, I'll buy it, but I try not to use it all unless I absolutely have to, because I don't want 10,000 pencils sitting around if I don't need them.
and what's this equipment repair?
That was whenever, we had an old copy machine. Our copy machine now is 5 years old. So we've just kept that there in case something would happen to it.
And what's your other, well, we can just do this one, I guess.
Okay. Current total at the top, 150,642, 300, 2950. Grand total, 153,892. You cut 1950.
I mean, there's not a lot there unless we go back for wages.
No, I mean, it's pretty well
So
like it
what's
was
the
last year.
total, I'm sorry,
153,892.
892.
thank you.
Need a motion, Dave?
Yes,
Motion's made.
motion by Paul, second by Chief, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried, 7-0. Prosecuting attorney. Your longevity there, I guess we need to remove that, 700.
I want this.
She moved telephone, telephone and software maintenance is moved.
Yep.
Rent office space actually went down, we talked about that the other night,
Yeah,
don't know why, but.
well, they've been charging too much on
We got a
those.
different, we got a different belief in that. Yeah, they do.
I know that, but,
They may charge less per square foot.
oh, you mean there's a different,
No, they figured the square foot and she didn't have as
Oh,
much as they
wrong.
thought.
Okay.
I think that's what she said.
Yeah, need to work on getting that closer to the
yeah,
courthouse.
should look a solution is for that.
So you took out the 700.
Solution.
Mhm.
89717.
We got things we can do.
And this first one went down. Because.
Okay.
89717?
Yep.
Did that in my head.
You're good.
There.
All right.
There's nothing else, let's see.
Trying to push you guys through this general before we leave.
I would entertain a motion,
I'll make motion.
A second.
motion by Keith, second by Earl, all those in favor? We're getting all these down for who makes these motions.
Yep.
Okay. I just wanted to.
You can go back and look at the video.
No, but I guess I could.
I'm right in here though.
Yeah, like I said.
Okay, next we have the
Sit
county
through it again.
extension. Okay. They have longevity there, 1,000.
Office supply.
Oh, what, the travel, what was it she said about that? I can't remember.
I think we got a letter.
Somebody lives farther or something.
Oh, she was talking about the new extension.
Yeah, somebody lives farther and has to drive more.
Most of the stayed about the same except for the travel.
Yeah, I think she was talking about conferences they had to go
I thought
to.
travel was, a lot of their training was further away.
Right.
It wasn't in this area, you know.
So they're asking for an increase from last year as our travel budget was cut from 5,000 in 22 to 35 in 23. While travel expenses have been abnormally low during the pandemic, we have resumed a normal travel pattern in 23 and anticipate it.
So we did cut it during the pandemic,
Pandemic, yeah.
those years, a couple years there, 20 and 21 probably, or 20.
Is that it, is it?
Not much else we do there, is it?
So, yeah, I guess we do that.
Pretty well seen.
Brings it 256, 392,
Computer, please.
256, 392.
Does anybody remember the computer lease?
256, 392.
Seems like you could buy it
Pay for cheap.
cheaper than leasing one for 20.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh.
I don't see it on here.
This is the one that is incorrect.
Yeah. Yeah, you didn't replace.
Oh, yeah.
the page.
Yes, well, I didn't. It's right here.
55502.
I didn't put it in there, the
Should
page.
be 154,502, correct?
Right, 154.
We only cut 1,000 out of that one.
Mhm.
Hey, David, get it moving.
Actually, I thought I really found something when I was doing that the other day, I was thinking, oh man, there's 100,000 we could, yeah, I realized, oh, it was just a error in the total.
Okay, what's that?
154502.
154502, county extension.
Make a motion.
Motion by Keith, second by
Second.
Paul, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
Veteran service.
Veterans. Longevity, oh man, that's a big one, minus 150. So he's ADA coordinator, that's same as he did last year. What's this 15% increase, half of federal money to PC?
Are we gonna go back and look at those wage, of everybody, once we see what,
We'll have to.
so then I just leave it if you're leaving everybody else's and then come back and
Yeah.
go through them one by one.
Yeah, we were just
It wouldn't
thinking,
be
I
fair
guess,
to
just
start,
Yeah, we got it.
it's full-time. Right now.
Fort Campbell,
Saw that one down there and getting,
I think he's doing a little more travel, I think.
try to lure people to come back here to,
And he's trained is at Wisconsin, which,
I think it'd be nice for him to go to.
978,
He could learn something up there.
650.
I don't think it's that bad. If we can get him to go to Wisconsin for $500, that's pretty reasonable.
All right, 46,413.
entertain a motion to
I'll
approve.
make that.
Motion by Stan, second
Second.
by Earl, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
County council's done. County election board.
Okay, of course, we're, have a general election in 2024, that's why a lot of these amounts are
Yeah. Do we have to pay the election board member? I mean, what is that, like, just for the, is that statutory, I guess, if we're asking
I
everybody,
would
it is.
say this probably is
We
statutory.
probably need to check and see what it is, since we're doing that for everybody else.
Yeah.
Just to be fair to everybody.
We always have paid them.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, if we're checking everybody else and
Right.
we're doing the minimum, then that's what we need to do.
Now, whether you are required,
And if you're not required, then
I don't know.
we cut the other ones that weren't
That's
required.
considerable.
I'm just saying.
We need to check and see if it's required.
Yeah, if you don't mind. I'll keep going. if you- And precinct board members, I don't know about that either.
What is that?
Bunch of money.
Precinct board member.
I have no idea.
Rachel Sutter,
She just had to, she had to leave at 3:30.
precinct board member.
You know, we didn't expend anything on the precinct, it's,
Hey, lady. Question for you. On these, election board members and precinct board members, are they required to be paid? Is it state statute that they're required to be paid? Okay. I didn't tell her she was on speaker yet. Election board.
In the precinct.
Okay, they're just checking into all the board members being paid. So they wanted to check on that. So can you check and see if that's required and what the required pay is?
What the statute is. We have that too. We need that when we
Okay.
advertise.
Sounds good. Thank you. Bye-bye.
We need to know all these things
She's
when
gonna
we
do some
advertise them
research
anyway.
tonight and find out what state statute requires and have that for us in the morning.
I think it'd be good to have all that anyway, so that when we post these, board openings for various boards, we can put the statute and then they can go read about it and see what your duties are and we need to be doing that anyways. So, for all
What
boards,
are precinct board members?
I don't know.
Find out in the morning.
we haven't expended any money, it don't look like. Yeah, we
Aren't
did
they the ones that
13,750.
handle each individual voting area?
Yeah,
Those are precinct committee.
Wouldn't
They
that
get
be,
paid
they'd
for that?
have their own?
No, precinct committee don't get paid.
Oh,
No,
is it?
not for each party, not party precinct committee.
All right, so we didn't do anything on that one,
yeah.
so we'll table that one.
So I'll just write down, you're gonna ask.
Yeah, commissioners is done. Animal shelter's done, planning and zoning's done, courthouse is done. No, we got circuit court, civil defense, yeah, we.
Hold on a minute. This election board,
Mhm.
can I go back to that real quick?
Yeah.
Sorry. I mean, I'm just one person, but I actually do have sort of an issue with this $4,000 for, Ann Island to do the elections live. I think it's nice, but we have a camera system.
Where's that at?
and of course, it's actually under, see notes below voting system support. It's,
Okay.
I think it's down there. Yeah. So it's under, see, it's part of that. There's several things in that. So there's
What were
the
you
US.
saying?
Huh?
And what were you saying? You
There's
had-
$4,000 for US elections live, and I have absolutely nothing against Ann Island or Ongen or, any local business that's doing this. I support them, but my issue is, we just invested in a camera system at the courthouse where we could, on YouTube, which is another web service, live stream the results in some fashion.
Where would you get those results from?
As they call them, like he gets them from the courthouse, like as they start putting the numbers in, like when you go there,
Back the old days,
they
post them.
the day,
Yeah,
after the
cameras.
election, people go to the courthouse
Something
and
on
then some people wanna watch it online. And what's the difference in a website or another website that's YouTube that we're already paying for?
You can obtain a lot more information from.
Yeah, there's a
this.
lot more
A
information.
lot more.
on that software.
I really liked it, but
did too.
I'm just one person too.
You
But-
have bars and graphs and stuff on.
Yeah, there's all kinds of.
You get graphs for what votes came out of what precinct. It helps the candidates, but I'm not sure that the voters are paying attention to that.
It didn't
I
help
think
me as a candidate, it helped me
pre-election-
as a county
Oh, okay,
committee person.
but
I,
is the general.
plus I like
tax-
the idea that it had the state and federal candidates on there where you
I
can
know a
see their
lot of people
bio.
used it.
I don't know, that's just, I liked it, but.
A lot of people did use it.
And I did go back to it and, I did some, research or whatever. I did, some spreadsheets from it and
I can see where it would help the
I don't
county
know.
chair of the,
Yeah.
central
that's
committees of
the
the
only thing
Democrat
that's what
Republican
I
Party,
like.
but we have 19,000 people.
right,
How many are actually,
yeah.
I try to think, we only have limited resources. So if we're already putting something on a website with a camera system or we have abilities to do that, is it responsible of us to spend another 4,000 just to have a pie chart or something else over here? A different way to look at it when we can look at it for what
How
we're
long,
already
when
paying.
does that contract expire with NDOT?
What line are you?
It's not necessarily a contract, it's another service they're offering.
Right here, this one.
Oh,
And
okay.
and
What
they
was
used
this,
it as a
Mr.
trial, with us, and
Yeah.
then
Oh,
they're, expanding into other counties.
I mean,
I thought there was an agreement with
That's
us.
quite a lot of money.
Maybe it was verbal.
Yeah, I don't know of any.
I mean, we can leave it, but at the end of the day, if it
Sure.
comes down between that and something public safety or that and somebody getting moved to a salary, closer to what they need to be or something, I'm gonna cut that. I mean, I'm gonna support cutting that.
4,000.
So we have to find
That's a
some,
lot, that's a lot.
again, nothing against an island or,
No,
being a
no,
local
no.
business. I love to support local businesses. It has nothing to do with that. It's just, we have a website, through this where you can get it for 4,000, or we can use our, YouTube and get the same, at least get the results. So that's where I
I don't
stand
think
on
it'll
it.
be as streamlined through the live stream. I don't think it'll be as, understandable and,
That's gonna be local only.
yeah. I think there's a
Local-
lot more
I
that
mean,
comes
there's
to
state-
it
we
for
announce
free.
who wins the state and Perry County.
election.
I mean, don't we? You say, okay, here's your state
I
reps
think
and here's
so.
who won and your county. I mean, it's the same thing. It's just the candidates do have a bio and the candidates can see certain information, but are we doing this for the candidates or are we doing this for the public as a
Well,
whole?
if you do it for the candidates, you do it for the public as a whole, because then they're allowed to see the
But I
candidates.
mean, we can put a bio on Facebook for free.
Well, yeah, that's true.
If we want to take the initiative to do that, I think.
I do know that
There's
Ann
ways
Island,
for us
and
to
I'm
do that.
just sitting here because I know I communicate with Ann Island, and I know that, I was here in a situation where, I publicly stated that I wanted to go with, Blau with the payroll, but I do know that Ann Island wants to see Perry County itself better. And I know that the more that they get in doing this, it's the more counties that they get, it's actually gonna end up
Pay back.
benefiting us. They're gonna pay us back.
Mhm.
So they're giving back for the support to help them grow, if that makes sense.
It's just a numbers game. It's all gonna
Yep.
come down to what's important to you. Is this more important than some of the other things? That's just my opinion.
Completely.
I would say cut that, but
Well, if we need to, we can always, if we're looking for more money, we can always come back to it, I guess,
And the shelter planning, so
you know?
courthouse. So do we wanna try and tackle, we got circuit court left, civil defense, jail, 4D, soil and water, parks and rec. Of course, we're not gonna get all those done in the next 8 minutes. Do you guys want me to total up and see where you guys are?
sure.
That's where you're at.
We just may have to make 3 days of it. I'm
Just
marking off
for
on my
maybe 4
calendar.
days. That's a lot.
Going to the blueprint.
I think Saturday. I think Chris and them said their office is closed on Saturday, so we'll be looking at Monday.
Courthouse, closed on Saturday?
Chris and them will be there. They're not gonna be here, so. We'll be with them. Not here,
You're gonna be with them?
not here.
Where you gonna be? Oh, Saturday.
I knew that was wrong. I had to have hit a 0. 241,692. I need to add, let's do that total.
I did all this, she's already did it.
So you guys have cut 302,275. 302,275.
So what's
Almost
left?
half.
360.
Half off of the levy number, half off of the number we got, 380. So you got 378,450. That's not using any of your cash. That's not,
And how many, yeah. that's- It's okay for the first round, but it's gonna get more serious.
No deacons, that's for sure.
The corner, forward.
Corner, yeah.
Well,
That's
it's
three
fine.
people to
There'll
cover.
be others, I mean, it'll have to be, it's just.
Sorry, I mean, I just don't, can't justify it. There's several other votes.
That would be the
either, so.
Chris, how many more funds do we have?
well, we haven't even made it through the general. We still got the
That's
general
what
to
I mean, the
finish.
general, I mean.
We've got
how
the
many-
Hume Bridge and the health and the reassessment yet to do. I didn't,
And we need 378 remaining, or go back.
Outside.
I knew this. was
And we're still gonna go back
slow,
anyway,
I thought
and
this
look at the
was-
records, so.
and that's with us doing $1 million on reserve. We can down that to 800. We can.
I don't wanna do that.
We can because we're not even considering the interest revenue we're bringing in and okay, so let me lay this out. Last year they ended with 893, which I gave you guys a copy of that date. And then that's what and this year, when she was sitting here last year, when we were doing budget last year, we were projecting to have 800,000 on reserve, which basically means ending with 800. And we're projected right now to end at 1,487,000. So we're really, really ahead. So if we would go ahead and still stay on that same pattern of doing 800 on reserve, and we've already increased our medical from 800 to 1 million budgeted, so that gives us our 1.8, then technically we only have to cut another 178,000. But that's your guys' decision.
I'm gonna stick to, I don't wanna spend any more than I bring in. But that's just me.
Yeah, well, we just keep going
Yep, and just
with
keep
the
it going.
budget and
But
the next one.
technically,
we'll let some hard decisions to make later.
We close this pool.
What's the
But
next
we're
one?
not spending money, that's not where, you're not spending
I don't
money,
want
you're
my
not
cash
having,
reserves to go
your-
down to fund.
but we're not going down, we've been at 800. In the
Well,
past years, they've always
But
tried
it
to
is
save
going
between
down if we're at
750.
1.4 and we're gonna go down, or 1.2 or 1. and go
No,
down.
you're missing, she projected, at this time last year, the numbers they based off of were to have 800,000 left. That was on reserve, that was the goal. And so if we did that same this year, then we, instead of having to cut the 678 with adding the ambulance in, and then we would be at 478, and we would only have to do 178 more. But what I'm saying is, this time last year, they projected, the numbers they budget off of were to have 800 on reserve.
But if we have 1 million, I don't wanna go
We have more than 1 million, we have 1.5.
for now, until the rest of the year, additional appropriations and.
Yeah, you're not getting what I'm saying. So if we stay on the same path and did exactly what we did last year, this, to cut 678, that's to have 1 million, okay? If we did what we did last year and say, hey, we're gonna have 800, or our goal is to have 800 on reserve, then that would reduce us having to cut 678 for the 680 to 480, and we'd be just fine. And like I said, they projected to have 800 on reserve, and just like you said, we're projected to have 1.4. So we had a good year. So we don't have to do the 1 million. We can do the 800.
But we can do the 1 million.
You guys can do whatever you want.
We'll see what happens at
Mhm.
the end.
You wanna
I
adjourn?
like to have some rainy days.
What'd you say you cut?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Motion of Paul, adjourn, second by Keith. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Motion carries 7-0.
To be continued at 8 a.m.
I missed that. Who was that?